Step aside. Step aside. Step aside. Good enough for me.
Oh, wait. Sexy, go, maybe. Pull me down. Let us see, man, go me down for you to sharp mid wicket.
Up stump.
Okay, make it.
Well, this is semi-final action number 2. Demerara Pitbulls. They take on Essequibo Anacondas. And this is under the Guyana Cricket Board National T20 League, powered by BetCageSports, under the patronage of His Excellency, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, and also featuring the rallying call of One Guyana. 2 teams, that's number 2 and number 3, based on what happened in preliminaries, coming up against each other. With the news from the middle is that the Pitbulls, they have won the toss and they're having a bowl first. And already Kevin Bodie and Tej Narain Chandapal. Good to see Tej back in cricket here at the middle. And Dwayne Dick will pick up the bowling. And we have seen so much spin bowling in this year's tournament. And in fact, in the first semi-final too, a lot of spin. Here's the first delivery. And a little teaser, just played away into the offside field, and there is no run. Like I said, both teams finish on 6 points, but it was the net run rate that separates both of them, with the Pitbulls finishing on second with a positive of 1.850 and 0.481 for the Anacondas. With me in the com box, John Ramsing. Hello to you, John. The Pitbulls won the toss. They're having a bowl for us.
Night in the G. Hello everyone. Another good opportunity for these teams under the lights here at Providence to make a good show of themselves. Kevon Bodie teeing off there. It's been among the runs. It is a count tonight with a boundary. Power play, of course, the opening over bowled by Dwayne Dick. In the power play, there's a safe shot in the end.
Absolutely so, and he's a brilliant geometry student here, John, bisecting the mid-wicket on the boundary and the wide long on. It was in the air, perfectly placed between the two of them.
147 runs before this. He's now brought up his 150th.
Yeah, he has to be careful here. That was actually a wild swipe at the ball. He was going with a horizontal bat. Should have gone a little stretch forward, and that could have been hit back over the head of the bowler, Bodie. But he was looking for that gap again. I think they've closed that gap because the fielder down on the mid-wicket boundary has come a little bit more towards his left. That's beautifully bowled. Teeing off just outside the line of the off stump and moving a little, and Bodie there was guilty of not getting to the pitch of the ball, dabbing at the last moment. He's an aggressive player. Like John said, he has been scoring heavily too.
Number 5 in the runs getters list. Started the tournament with a brilliant 70 against the Piranhas, 43 against the Pitbulls. And then after that, struggled a little bit. 19 against Jaguars, 7 against Caimans, 8 against the Hawks. So we know the quality of the man, Kevon Bodie. And your partner tonight in Tej Narain Chandapal.
Wow, comprehensively beaten and bowled. He didn't know anything about that one. The first over completed. It's 4 without loss.
Yeah, nice delivery from Dick. The arm ball One that went through with the arm. Nicely taken by the keeper as well. So the Anacondas, familiar unit, but you've seen now Kimo Paul, Niall Smith, and Tejanai Chandapal strengthening the Anacondas.
And followed by the rest of them. I guess it's going to be a competitive battle.
Yeah, they've brought in Ronaldo Ali Mohammed and Gaurav Ramesh into the final 11 tonight. So already a strong team on paper. And strengthening again. Gaurav Ramesh, one of the young prospects from Albion on the Quarantine Coast, getting an opportunity. And then we see Ali Mohammed coming back into the team as well. Tejanai Chandapal, lots of experience. Opens his account nicely. Sergeant giving chase. Cannot prevent the second. So it's good to see Tejanai Chandapal looking to continue with white ball cricket. We know about his ability with red ball cricket. Pestano was looked quite different this season with his pace up, the 32-year-old. So battle on here tonight in the G. At stake, a place in the final tomorrow night.
Yes, and that stake is very, very high. And Clinton Pestano with 7 wickets in the preliminary of the competition, he'll be looking to add to that here tonight. Yes, I agree, John. He has bowled well in the tournament, hit the pitch hard, and has bowled with good pace as well. Oh, that's a nice little tickle here. It's going to come down towards the fine leg region, and that's 4 good-looking runs to Tejanai Chandapal.
From the first ball he faced, the previous delivery looked positive. He looked like he wanted to score tonight, and this is one just under the line of the leg stump. And there's a leg slip in play, so Pestano doing the right thing, bowling to his field, but that slight shimmy down the track from Chandapal, giving the extra opportunity to just nudge it for 4.
Yes, and when you make those little movements in the crease, it can actually put off the bowler with his line and his length, and that actually happened to Clinton Pestano. Tage had a very good inter-county tournament prior. Oh, that's a brilliant shot, magnificently flicked off the front foot, through the mid-wicket region, all along the ground, bisecting the mid-on and the mid-wicket. What a fabulous shot from this left-hander.
From the time it left the bat in the Jeet, it had 4 written all over it. Little gap there between that mid-wicket and mid-on position, and he found it easily with surgical precision. Well played. You call him the Cub? Well played.
Yes, absolutely splendid shot. And good to see him having this kind of start. 10 runs from just 3 deliveries. And just pulling away here, Tage at the last minute. Started the Super 50 very well. I think he got close to 50 or 40 odd in the first game. But after then really tailed off a little. I thought, despite the 2 matches that the weather curtailed, there were 2 games they had, could have won those games. They did not. Had 2 victories. Good to see him back in the cricket field.
Quick single. Christopher Dion Barnwell, captain. He's been ticking all of his boxes this season. Yet again, showing what a leader he is, what a cricketer he is. One more victory will take him to another final. Barnwell, you saw him in the T10 version of this tournament, taking that title quite easily because he played consistent cricket. What Barnwell and the Pitbulls did in that tournament, and they have done so far, as we look at Bodhi's recent form, that we mentioned earlier. What Barnwell has done, he's done the simple things correctly.
Yes, and his captaincy has been brilliant as well. He hasn't scored a lot of runs with the bat in this T20 tournament. That short in the air, falling between the bowler and the short mid-wicket there, almost short wide mid-on. He is very fortunate here, Kevin Bodhi. That one got big on him, John.
Spoke about the extra pace of Pestano this season, and there it is again. getting Bodie a bit of a surprise to him. He was on the line of the body, so he was committed to the stroke, Bodie, but got a top edge because he was in no position to pull in front of his eyes. Good pace again from Pestano.
This is a nice little flick shot. And Raymond Piras fires the return in. Just missing the woodwork. They complete two good running between the wicket. And good job too by Raymond Perez down on the deep backward square boundary. So this match has started with a hectic rate. 2 overs gone, 17 without loss.
Pitbulls finished second, like you mentioned earlier, just because of superior net run rate over the Anacondas. So that's where they locked in battle here today. Tonight. These are the two teams, one of which will go on to the final tomorrow night. That will say they have an advantage of playing in the same or similar condition to the final. Tonight, semi-final number 2. Winning team will play the final tomorrow night right here at the National Stadium.
Yes, so Tejan Ryan Chandapal in strike. Diving effort down at mid-on. Well, he was mid-off rather, feeling at extra cover there and had to run all the way towards his right. That's good feeling, Clinton Pestano. And John, it's important when you're feeling, just back up this bowling. That's excellent stuff.
It's important that Chandapal, with the start that he has here tonight, bat deep or try to bat really deep and allow the others to bat around him. Because you know the quality of the man. He can also turn it up a notch when needed. But his game is to accumulate runs and have the others bat around him. That must be the game plan.
Look at Bodie. Driving sweetly. This time he got to the pitch of the ball. Lovely movement of the feet. But the only thing, the placement wasn't there. Went down towards wide mid-off and can't score. But I like the aggressive nature. But he has to be selective, Kevon Bodie. Driving again. And this time that right leg was planted down towards mid-on. If he's going to do that, he's going to miss outside the line of the off stump. And despite scoring that 143 in total of all the innings he has played so far, he's just averaging 29. Had one good innings of 70, was a real good knock. But since then, kind of tailed off a little.
Dick is just keeping it simple, realizing that he has Bodie guessing outside his off stump. This time it was on the line of the off stump, but Bodie improvising and getting a single. He will keep strike at the start of over number 4. 3 gone, 19 without loss.
So the Jaguars, they've already gone through to the finals. They'll be reaching whichever of these two teams that win in the second semi-final tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Just before that, we're going to have the playoffs, and somebody will be joining Piranhas in that playoff. And 10 in the morning, 2 powerful women team will be battling. That's the Pacaraima Force along with the Kaichor Warriors. Pacaraima Force, they'll be led by Shamaine Campbell, West Indies player, and Shabika Gajnabi will be at the helm of the Kaichor team. Here's a drive. That was a short lifting delivery outside the line of the off stump, not making any contact. So he's working up some good pace here, Clinton Pestano. Just need to get the line right. That was a good delivery though. So he's getting closer and closer to where he wants to bowl.
Big hit this time from Bodhi. Good connection. And it goes the distance. So Bodhi now into double figures. Well, at maximum, the score races up to 25 in the fourth. Another short delivery. Pestano testing Bodhi again with a short delivery. This time, equal to the task.
Yes, that was a rollicking shot. And he looked so good there. Balanced nicely on the back foot. Picked the bounce off the pitch beautifully. Great timing and the power was there. That's a class shot.
Yeah, the fielder on the onside is at that mid-wicket position. It went pretty straight. Pestano looking to bounce back. Too close to cut. We can see the intensity here in the G. Both sides looking to seize the early initiative. The Anacondas and, of course, the Pitbulls now. No side want to give the other an early opportunity to get ahead.
And this is what we are looking forward to, a keenly contested battle between these two teams. The Anacondas and an Essequibo-based franchise. The Pitbulls, Demerara-based franchise, short and pulled around. Perez is there, though. And just dropping one bounce to Perez. So he's not going to shy away from a challenge, Bodhi. And knowing Clinton Pestano, he definitely will be feeding him with the short ball.
7 runs from the first 4 deliveries. Pitbulls began their campaign with a defeat to the Jaguars. Bounced back against the Hawks. Lost to the Piranhas. Bounced back against Anacondas. And then their last game against the Caimans, they won that as well. 3 out of their 5 games they won.
Yes, and this time this one too, a little bit slow off the pitch to Tejan Chandapal. That caused him to lose timing. Good for him that it went down into the pitch. You mentioned the name Caimans there, John. A little sorry for those fellas.
Oh, most definitely, the Caimans and the Hawks just couldn't get their campaign going. And they suffered early exit from this tournament.
That was beautifully disguised by Clinton Pestano. He was winding up for the big one, Tage, to end over number 4, 26 without loss.
So we mentioned the form of the Pitbulls. If we look at the Anacondas, as some spectators, parents of Ushadeva Balgobin in the green stand. And you must feel it for these this pair, this couple. Ushadeva has done nothing wrong really in the tournament. Had a good partnership at the top of the order to start the tournament. Then went down the order, went without scoring, disappeared. Last game top scored. This game out of the 11. So you must feel it for his parents who journeyed all the way from the west coast of Demerara to watch him play tonight. So we mentioned the form of the Anacondas as well. 3 victories, 2 defeats as Dick continues. The Anacondas lost their opening game to the Hawks. Came back to the winning ways against the Caimans, continued against the Jaguars, lost to the Pitbulls, and then the last game defeated the Berbice Piranhas. So that is, both sides pretty much have been hot and cold. But Dick is on target again. Just 6 runs conceded, and this is 3rd over. What I like about him, he's shown good control, especially in the power play.
This time Bodhi is going after him, but picking out the fielder down. That's Barnwell at extra cover, cannot score. It was a good looking shot. You mentioned, and we saw the parents of Ushardeva Balgobin, John, and I've seen them at so many cricket matches where their son is playing. It tells about the glue in the family, the support that someone needs. And listen, he does not lack parental support. So congrats to mom and dad there. Even though he's not in the final 11, they're here, you know, to support the team and to support cricket as a whole. Good feeling to his own bowling here. Dwayne Dick running away nicely into the onside field and preventing any single whatsoever. TH, he's not going to have any of that. So the start has been a good one here by the Essequibo Anacondas. In fact, at the toss, the skipper did say to me, if he had won the toss, he would have been batting.
No ball.
That's a good on drive to end the over. In fact, no ball, signaled by the umpire. So we're going to see the first free hit. Just breaching that bowling crease.
So they just were praising him. What could have easily been 1 run in the over. That extra delivery, we'll have to see where it's going to go. Chanderpaul is on strike. 12 from 8. Straight to the field at extra cover. We've got a tight ring of fielders on the offside for Chanderpaul. He remains on 12, Bodie on 15. After 5 overs, the Anacondas 28 without loss. With 1 over to go in the power play, 2 bowlers used. Pestano licking 20 runs from his 2. Dick on the other end, 8 runs from his 3. 15 dot balls out of 18 that he sent down. Speaks about the control of the off spinner with the new ball, especially in the power play when the field restriction is on. Seems to be working well for him. The last game, the Pitbulls experimented a little bit with not bowling in the power play. Someone like Gulcharan Chulai was tried, I would say. Now we see Seam for the first time. This time, Ronaldo Ali Mohammed, just back from Super 50 duties with the Guyana Harpy Eagles, having an opportunity coming from the media center and northern end. As Dexter George comes in alongside. Medium fast bowler himself. Swiveling, pulling, getting good connection. The fielder at short fine leg had no chance. It was that well hit, and look at where it goes. Ends up into the stand where the spectators are. Powerfully played to welcome Ali Mohammed into the attack, as we welcome Dexter as well. Dexter, good game on hand.
Yeah, it's been a pretty interesting start so far. Not the start Ali Mohammed would have been looking for. But Bodhi continues to battle in this innings. Short innings so far.
Just helping that one along the way. When Pestano was bowling, we saw that leg slip in play. He was bowling to the field. Now we have a similar field with a fine leg in the circle for Ronaldo Ali Mohammed while bowling to someone like Kevon Bodhi. Rather suspect they're playing for him to flinch. Maybe a ball that will be on the line of his body. 2 successful pull shots have been played by Bodhi off the seamers. So far it's not working for them.
It's really an interesting tactics. I think of late, Bodhi has been dismissed to the short ball quite a lot. I think we saw it in the recent inter-county in the 50 over format. When Escribo played Demerara, they targeted him with a lot of short deliveries. Ali Mohammed was one such bowler. So similar tactics being employed here by the Pitbulls. 33 on the board, we're in over number 6. So it's a steady start.
He got out of the blocks pretty quickly, Tejaroy Chanderpaul, with a double and then consecutive boundaries, but since then he kept very quiet. And since he was an under 19 player, I remember one of the criticisms, if any, was that he plays the ball crisply, beautifully, but finds the fielders rather than finding the gaps more often than not. This time trying to improvise. That's what a white ball version of the game does to you. Sometimes not going your way, try different things. Ali Mohammed keeping it simple, but Chanderpaul just looking for a scoring opportunity.
Absolutely, still trying to capitalize on the field restrictions, still inside the power play. When you get a start in the power play, it becomes a bit easy just to give yourself a little bit of time in the middle overs. You can rotate and then get into your innings.
Get the impression that a short ball was coming because Barnwell was moving back towards long on. A bit of a collision to end the over. 7 conceded in Ali Mohammed's first over. End of the power play, 35 without loss. Esquibo Anacondas against the Demerara Pitbulls, semi-final number 2.
Really good conditions here at the Guyana National Stadium. So it's an interesting start by both teams, really. Anacondas, they're not off to a flyer, but I think importantly for them, they've not lost any wickets.
188 has the highest score of the tournament, which was scored by the Jaguars against the Pitbulls. And the lowest score, there are Pitbulls against the Caimans. So Pitbulls have been involved in the highest and the lowest. Projected score at this stage after the power play, 117. We saw 110 being chased down earlier today, giving the Jaguars some amount of headache to get to that target against the Piranhas. But 117, when you look at previous T20 scores here, whether it's regional or international, it's difficult. But we've seen scores in 130, 140s, sometimes being defended as well. So sometimes it's difficult to see what would be a good target or good score batting first, because also we have seen score close to 190s. Dick to finish, short ball, and Buddy pulls and pulls well. That's another 6 to him. Start of over number 7. Look at Buddy in position pretty quickly, as if he was anticipating a short ball from Dwayne Dick.
Yeah, really good shot. He played quite a few up those. Missed quite a few, but on this occasion,
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
making really good contact, swiveling nicely on one knee, all the way for 6. So he signaled his intent out of the power play immediately. I think he's going to back himself against the offspin of Dick. 4th over in succession for Dwayne Dick. So Bodie on this occasion just lining him up. But it's really good batting. There you see using his feet on that occasion. So he's not allowing Dick to settle, as one would say. But Dick has been pretty good. Just before this over, he would have bowled 3 overs. That's 18 legal delivery. I will concede 15 that ball. I think that's just extraordinary. This is what Dwayne Dick is known for. He's done this pretty much throughout his career.
Chanapal a bit under pressure now for not scoring recently. Feel relaxed to get a single down to long on easily. Debutant Gaurav Ramesh collects. Interesting time to be a debutant in a semi-final or major tournament. But Chanapal, get the impression if he's going to be bogged down a little bit more, might just want to free himself, and that is an opening that the fielding side, the Pitbulls, will be happy with. Because once you start to give yourself the opportunity to free up as a batter, you tend to give the fielding side an opportunity to dismiss you.
Absolutely, but it all depends on the manner in which you want to go about playing the game. Obviously, you have your team plan and your tactics and how you're going to go about your innings, which bowler you're going to target. And as we say, the matchup, I think that's something teams do quite a lot these days.
Again, Bodhi on one knee. Gultran Chulai just a little bit flat-footed. Might have been considering the dive, but went for the safe route to chase it, and just could not pull it back. Another boundary for Kevon Bodhi.
Woody, just be more mindful of
So
the
he's
wicket.
been quite severe on anything short. Chulai contemplated the dive but pulled out at the last minute. So Bodhi gets another boundary. So Dwayne Dick just looking a better runs in his final over, but it's still pretty good figures.
Getting close to the 50. At the end of 7:48 without loss. Anacondas batting first.
So first over out of the power play. Scoring 13 runs. And this is really good cricket by Bodhi. So we saw some of the previous fixtures and how they went. There we see the Jaguars won by 4 wickets.
Next one.
Now you mentioned the name.
Look at that side here next to George. That's the high span basically for the new Demerara Harbour Bridge. Lots of work happening around the clock. So even in the night, China Railroad construction continues to work. There's a deadline extended to March of next year to finish. Earlier today there was a site visit by the media and the Honourable Minister of Public Works for an update on that new Demerara Harbour Bridge. As a new bowler comes into the attack, Gultran Chulai, the youngster from Wakenham Island in the Essequibo River. 49 on the board, so they're getting close to the 50, so not a bad scoring rate at all for the Essequibo Anacondas. We mentioned Shanda Paul, but if Bodhi's attacking at the other end, you can just be the supportive partner like he's doing right now. Good partnership, and Shanda Paul there on 15.
Absolutely, and Chanjapal, he's not known for the big stroke plays. Bodhi, on the other hand, he has a reputation of scoring a lot of boundaries, and I think they've decided that that's the way they're going to go during this middle phase. It's an outside edge, not guaranteed shot third. But it's, no, I like this move, bringing young Chulai into the attack a bit early than usual. He's been really good throughout this tournament. For me, he's been one of the youngsters who impressed us all. And it's good to see him have an opportunity at this level in a semi-final.
Yeah, I like what you mentioned at this stage of the game, because it's not a runaway scoring rate by any means. For losing his shape and almost losing his wicket even via a run out. No, stump's not broken there by Joshua Prasad. In the middle phase, might be his best time to bowl in this tournament. Chulai, look at that, just trying to hit the ball too hard. Chanda Paul, Pestano got there quickly. Too good for the wicketkeeper as well.
No damage done in the end. Chanjapal survived. He continues to bat.
They say all is well that ends well. Single to bring up 50 for the Anacondas. 50 in the 8th over. And what's good about this partnership is that it's without any wicket on the board. Foundation laid for the Essequibo Anacondas. I was about to make the point about Chulai bowling in the middle phase. We saw him in the power play with a new ball. Seems to be not having the control towards the back end as well. Maybe a little bit nervous in some of the games that maybe at LBI. But now the middle phase. There's a big appeal. This could be the first wicket. It is the first wicket. Kevin Bodhi, look at the sweep again. Missed it. And is trapped in front. Easy decision for umpire Javed Prasad in the end. Kevin Bodhi judged leg before for 33. First wicket going down with scoring 50 in over number 8.
Yes, Kevin Bodhi trying to keep the tempo of the innings going. They obviously don't want to be bogged down in the middle phase by the Pitbull bowlers. But Chulai, picks up another wicket and is forced over again. I think this is the third occasion he's picked up wicket in his forced over. So I guess he has a knack for that thing. But very well bowled. One of the impressive thing about Chulai is the pace at which he bowls. We find a lot of young spinners in the modern game They bowl quicker and quicker. Chulai completely different. He's not afraid to give the ball some air. He does have an arm ball as well. So that's really good to see. And interestingly enough, John, there's another young man in this Pitbull side that will be playing his first game here tonight in this competition. Young Ramesh. I've never seen him before, but he come highly recommended. Plays for the Albion Cricket Club, I was told. I'll be interested to see how he goes when he have an opportunity. So the new batter at the crease, Rampatab Ramnath, another youngster who would have played at this level, inter-county level previously, and have done well. He's done so well that he was rewarded a place recently in the Guyana RP Eagles setup in the regional Super 50.
Played the last game at the expense of Tej Chandapal, who's had non-strikers in. Quite interesting. 8 overs gone, a successful one for Chulai, 50 for the loss of 1. And Bodhi, 33 runs added to his 147 he had before. So it's been among the runs. Adrian Sukwa, 235, leading the tournament so far. So look what's to come. Anthony Adams, Abdul Ram Sami, Niall Smith, Richie Lucknow, Quentin Samson, Kimo Paul, Garfield Phillips, and Sigar Hitaramani. So that's the Escribo Anacondas side. Both teams deserve to be where they are today. Shamar Yearwood, Stephen Sankar, and we see Job Caesar with them as well. So they're just hanging out in the groundsman area. See him again from the southern end, Christopher Barnwell, captain. Chanapal very happy with the pace of Barnwell and gets a single to get off strike.
This is a really interesting move by skipper Barnwell, bringing himself on to bowl to both of these left-handers.
5 remaining.
He has a bag of trick up his sleeve, and with not having what you want to say another specialist off-spin option, Barnwell, he considers him, he doesn't bowl much these days, so pretty much you'd want to say the 6th option in this lineup. Having 2 left arm spinning inside with 2 left-handers batting currently at the crease, it's a good time for him to come on and bowl. So it's a good move. He does bowl a lot of slow ball. Rampatab like to play a bit of shot, so it's gonna be interesting matchup. There we see slower ball. Worked nicely by Ramnath for a single, so he's off the mark. He's up and running. Score moves on to 52 for 1.
Christopher Barnwell, one time the leading all-rounder in the Caribbean. 5 wickets before tonight's semi-final. 2 for 4, his best figures against the Caimans. Also had 2 for 22 against the Jaguars. There's no substitute whatsoever for experience. Full played on. Chandapal goes. Toe end of the bat, and he's looking at the bat immediately. Christopher Barnwell striking in his first over as well, the captain. And it's a big fish of Tej Chandapal, who is bowled. Both openers dismissed now in over number 9. It's 52 for 2.
Well, John, you just said it. The experience of Christopher Barnwell getting the better of Tej Chandapal on this occasion. A little bit inside edge. But his intent was always to bowl a Yorker. Chandapal just assisting him by getting inside edge. So he picks up a wicket in his very first over. Score remains on 52 for the loss of 2 in the 9th over.
Speak of experience, speak of all-rounders. Kimo Paul makes his way to the middle. Chandler Paul, disappointing walk. See the disappointment on his face as he was walking off. But just moving his right foot out of the way, perhaps to open up the offside. But that one came back sharply from Manuel. Had a little bit of pace as well. So all the ingredients for a perfect delivery. And Chandler Paul just got enough bat onto it to take it onto his stump.
Ball his right arm over the wicket, 2 remaining.
Manuel won't mind at all. Manuel bowling like a 22-year-old, like we see on his shirt. Played his entire career with number 90. CB90. It's now a household name in and around Guyana. Here he is to the new batsman, Kimo Paul. In a recent interview, Kimo Mandela Angus Paul said he's using the Super 50 and the next tournament, the Global Super League, for which he's contracted by the Guyana Amazon Warriors. Not only to play through the tournaments with good fitness, but to use those tournaments to get back into the international side. Quite a quality player, Kimo.
White ball.
Bit wayward on that occasion from Barnwell. But you said it, John. Quality playing Kimo Paul. He has struggled a bit for runs of late. But at this level, if he can just find his groove, it's a big game. Obviously, it's a semi-final. So this is where you want to accept that challenge and come good for your side.
White ball.
It's another wide by Barnwell. But you can understand what he's trying to do here. He has 3 men patrolling the boundary on the onside. So he's just looking to bowl a bit straight to Kimo. He's someone who loves to free his arm. So Barnwell obviously knows this. Just trying to cramp him for room a bit.
Off the mark, will come back for the second. They cannot feel cleanly to put some pressure on Kimo nor Ramnot. So 2 consecutive overs where wickets stumbled. Anacondas after 9, 56 for the loss of 2. You can see that's the advertising banner of the tournament. National T20 League powered by BetCageSports. And you can see the image of His Excellency the President of the Cooperative Republic posted proudly there. So a few banners like these are around the ground. Big thank you to His Excellency for being the patron of this tournament. BetCageSports as a sponsor. And of course the Guyana Cricket Board putting on a good show in this tournament. Chulai to continue. His second over the 10th of the innings. After this we'll have a drinks break.
Whoa!
Very nicely bowled by Chulai.
Go Chulai, keep going
Like
Chulai!
you mentioned, getting a game in the recent Super 50, the last game of the tournament. I think he made just the 8 runs. Interestingly, he was called upon to bowl and picked up 3 wickets. So that's another side of his game that we see in the modern day cricket, especially in the T20 and the T10 format. You can get into so many leagues around the world in different teams. Once you compete that 3-faceted player.
Yeah, you must be multi-dimensional these days. Unless you're exceptionally good in one area. Look at such players, maybe like a Cylinder Ryan, who's also gone on to improve in his batting. Pushing it wide might be a little tough call there. Umpire Javed Prasad says it's wide. A little bit harsh on a young man there, Chulai.
Working July.
It's a really interesting field set.
Nothing, pass. Well done.
Can't pierce the outside field. Ramnad, quality player, talented, came through the ranks from the under 15, the under 17, even the under 19 for Guyana.
Oh, they were late to take off for that single. The bowler had to run all the way towards that mid-wicket region to effect the save.
Come on, July.
And it could have easily been a run out.
Not good running between the wickets. They hesitated quite a bit before they ran that single, the batters. Need to be a bit more switched on. Nevertheless, it's been a good over by July. Anacondas batting came out for. It's an interesting move.
Oi, bowling, body.
You know, he obviously has a lot of batting pedigree, but in recent times, most teams that he's played for, he's probably batted around that number 6 position. I guess he recognizes the fact that he needs some time out in the middle, needs some runs under his name. Come on, Oiken to the onside.
Back up.
Just a single. So the under 10 overs scores 59 for 2.
Another tidy over from Gulcharan Chulai. He's bowled 2, 1 for 5. Umpires Stefan Josiah and Javed Prasad players, it's time for drinks. So it's time for drinks, and the young lady and the baby stays with the action. Stay with the action in the mound. We'll take a break as well and come back with some more in semi-final number 2, right here, live from Providence.
Me body don't walk, you know what? Me body don't walk, you know. But me body do the part-time thing. I'm telling you about it. Back yourself up, hold back.
Yeah, good, you sweet. Sweet. Good page turn back up.
Yo! Ball and change, batsman. Yeah, left arm. Left arm wrong. Left arm wrong.
So good. Anacondas 59 for the loss of 2. 10 overs gone. We're at the halfway stage in their innings. And certainly while we're enjoying the air condition where we are, it's kind of a little bit hotter out in the middle. So it's good to ensure that you rehydrate the body. They have done that. And it also gives them a breathing space to rethink, analyze what has happened. Just 5.9 runs over here. The Essequibo Anacondas will be looking to do much better in this second half. And certainly the two of them out in the middle there look set. They have lost 2 wickets, not too far apart. And that would have sent back the scoring rate. Big swing outside the line of the off stump. It goes by into the gloves of the keeper. Hello, Dexter. This is going to be of vital importance, this last 10.
Hello, brother Indigit. Absolutely. Garaf Ramesh playing his first game in the tournament. Very well played by Kimo Paul. He looks a very quick spinner, Ramesh. Kimo Paul using the pace and found the gap nicely in that occasion.
Yes, I remember seeing Gaurav Ramesh previously. Sometimes he flights the ball, but I think because he's bowling to Kimo Paul, just not want to put too much of flight on that. And he's looking to bowl quicker. That was a brilliant shot by Kimo. He's going after his man again, and that's badly misjudged. Down at long off. That should have been taken, and it looks like that. Yeah, Jonathan Van Lang. Maybe body preservation came in before trying to take the catch. That should have been a goner. Badly misjudged. And Kimo Paul gets the boundary. Now Kimo is going to look to be aggressive here. He wants a big one. He should have been a goner. That should have been taken. Look at it. Actually dropped it.
Yeah, badly missed by Van Lang. Don't want to be dropping someone like Kimo Paul. Even though he has struggled of late, we know the sort of batting pedigree he possesses. And if he can get going, maybe that's what he needs. You know, a life to say, you know what, maybe it's his night.
Well, that's gone. That's now history. But it should have been taken. And Kimo Paul should have been walking back. Will he capitalize on this opportunity in the 11th over? And now let's see what they're doing. They're bringing in the cover a little bit closer. And no doubt Kimo might very well want to go aerial here. Now looking for a single, not on. And there could have been some danger there. Where was Rampatab Ramnath going? There was never going to be a single there.
Certainly not. And I'm keenly looking at Ramesh. You know, he plays for the Albion Cricket Club up in Berbice. That's where the like of Differinja Bishu, Versami Parmal, Kudikish Moti, you know, they all came from the Albion Cricket Club. So he's following in those guys' footsteps, continuing a long tradition of spin bowling.
And this is a false shot by Kimo. Looking to go over long off. Dragged it away down towards forward square on the boundary. Gets a single, Kimo Paul. Yes, that club that you mentioned there, 11 overs gone. 68 for the loss of 2. One of the better clubs in our country. And in Berbice, a prominent club, Albion. And that ground is undergoing a lot of repairs. I understand they have finished off the outfield. There's some other work that needs to be done there. Adrian Sukwa, 28 fours, 17 by Shamar Yearwood, Glasgow 14, Bodhi 13, and Rajiv Ivan 13. And in the sixes column,
Bodhi with 10 before the start of this match, so he added an additional 2. Rajiv Ivan, who we saw played earlier, he's on 10 as well.
So Kimo Paul maintains strike against Cholai. Big swing by Kimo. The connection projection looks good from here, or will he be caught? Beats the leaping fielder way down on the boundary. That's Dwayne Dick, and that's gone away for a maximum.
It's really good shot, and I like what Kimo is doing here. He clearly recognizes that both of these spinners, they're young, they're inexperienced, and he's trying to put them under some pressure. And if he can do this, Chula, who's been very good for the Pitbulls, he's going to ask Captain Barn, well, what else do you have for me?
He's going after his man again, and that one cannon into the stump. And Kimo Paul has been clean bowled by Gultarantulai, and he now will be learning to respect Gultarantulai. It's not all swing and broad smile across his face, but not a good shot by Kimo Paul. Outfoxed by the young spinner, 74 for the loss of 3.
Chulai, you little ripper. After being struck for 6, came back in really good manner. And if you have a look here, Brother Jeet, he wasn't afraid to give the ball some air. Kimo Paul went for a big swing, missed it altogether. Very well bowled. Just like the old saying goes, you missed, I hit. Chulai just keeping his nerve, doing the basic well. Very well bowled. Continues to be impressive in this tournament.
Yes, and I like what I'm seeing here from the youngster. Lovely delivery, nicely tossed up, and Kimo missed it, and he lost his wicket. And while you want to be aggressive, this is the 12th over in progress. You don't have to go to bang every single delivery for 4s and 6s. You play smart cricket. You're a West Indian player, and it is expected that when you come at this level, that the others will learn from you. And Kimo is one of those youngsters that promise so much. I just wonder when he's going to deliver consistently. He has not been doing that. Quinton Samson has come out into the middle and greeted with a good delivery, short of a good length. And all he has to do is to defend. And he too has suffered a lapse in form in this Guyana Cricket Board National T20 League. Tickle into the onside, down through forward square. Coming back for a single, and he's quick. The return goes to the non-striker's end, but they both made it. So if you're going to lapse a little in the field, these two are going to capitalize. Samson and Rampatab Ramnath, they're very, very quick.
And it's really good running. As soon as the ball was played into the onside, they ran the first one very quickly. That afforded them the opportunity to come back for the second. So Samson is off and running. But he's going to be up against a spin attack that has done very well in this tournament.
And this time it's good to see that he was on the back foot and he kept it down. But, you need to read the game, and I think the opposition just missed a trick here. They should have gotten that backward point inside the circle. Samson is very vulnerable at backward point, especially when he gets on the back foot. He does not keep the ball down. And he lost his wicket there on many occasions.
Stylishly played out long off from Rampatab. But they need a partnership here.
12 overs gone, 78 for the loss of 3.
That's John both Samson and Ramnath. They run 3 apiece. Current rate of 6.50. That's just going to get them up to roughly 130. But this is what the scorecard for the Anacondas look like so far. Kevin Budi, who played well for his 33. Tejan Ryan Chanjapal, who we saw deliberately try to score a bit more freely, a bit more quickly. I love the intent he's shown. Yes, he's only scored his 17, but in the way in which cricket is being played right now, especially in the limited over format, the 50 over on T20 in particular, strike rate is a big thing, and he's making a deliberate effort to work on that. So I guess you can give him a pass.
Yes, so Samson and Ramnath. Ramnath actually made his debut for his national team. That's the Guyana Harpy Eagle in this year's Super 50. So And he considers himself, Samson, someone who wants to regain his place onto the back foot. Now, that was hit pretty hard down towards the long off. Jonathan Fu is in the way. And just a single. But something has to go right here now for the Anacondas. Because it's not going all that good. 6.49. 7 wickets standing. They must find avenues in scoring runs. Good start to the over, getting a single.
You made mention about finding the way to score runs. You know, Providence wicket generally favors spin, and they're very much aware of the quality of spinners this Pitbull side have. I guess that's why Kima Paul was sent up the order in an effort, very well bowled. Yes, in an effort to probably try to take on the spinners and not allow them to settle. Both of them, Ramesh and Chulai, I think they're just 19 and 20 years old. So
2 youngsters operating in tandem, and it's good to watch. That's another good delivery. Managed to squeeze it off the outer edge of the bat, and they're going to hustle for the second. A return should have been straight to the stumps. It did not, but 2 feet away from it, and they get the second. Despite they get 2 there, Gaurav should not be bothered. The edge was definitely found high up on the bat, and with the first slip in place there, could have been a little bit dangerous. So this youngster is up for a challenge. You're going to go for runs, but he's a wicket taker. And when he hits them, Samson, they stay hit over mid-wicket. That's a maximum to the right hand. Pivoted nicely onto the back foot and got enough power. The direction and the distance was good.
I don't think it's that bad of a delivery. But what we just saw from Samson was pure strength and power. He muscled that one over the mid-wicket boundary. And this is the sort of play he is, Samson. If he gets in, he can be destructive.
Yes, off the back foot. And the extra cover on the boundary. Diving tackle here. That's Dick in action. The return comes in and they get 2. He has good eyesight. But he has to be careful as he gets onto that back foot. This one came off the meat of the bat. Looks good while he played too. Has Samson saved the best when it comes down to semi-final and finals if he gets there? But so far, 13, he looks good from 7.
So I thought to finish over number 13, 89 for 3 the Anacondas. And this is really interesting tactics from the Anacondas. Samson, he bats pretty much at that number 6, 7 position. And he's someone who bats based on situation as well. But here we see he's taking the responsibility at number 5. So you mentioned about they want to score runs in this middle phase. I think they're very much aware of that. And they're making a deliberate effort to ensure that this
score here, 137. That's not going to be bad on this pitch. Despite it's drying out more, I think there's still some moisture below that toughness you're seeing at the top with some grass. Because the water table is right away around there. Moisture definitely will be there. And it's not a pitch that we're going to have the ball playing through. It's keeping a little bit slow, a little bit on the low side sometimes. Drive the outer edge found out towards the defined third man. Tumbling effort on the boundary region, and the left-handed return comes in.
That's Ricky Sargent there on the third man boundary. Did very well to save 2 runs for his side.
Yeah, hit the turf very hard as well.
You know,
And got some applause in that direction.
I was just about to say he plays for on the east bank of Demerara. So definitely his supporters, they're here. And lovely to see him in action and doing well.
Well, you can hear the sound from here. The edge found, and Ramnath has to go. Caught behind, and Ali Mohammed has gotten his man in his second over. That's going to be 91 for the loss of 4 wickets now.
I honestly can't describe that shot. You would think that Ramnath would be the guy being the most specialist batter. But just want to ensure he bats through the innings and allow Samson to go about his work. And when he gets set, then he too can join in the fun. But I get they want to continue to score runs. But if you lose wicket quickly, you can find yourself behind the 8 ball. And I think with 4 wickets down, this is sort of what is happening.
Yeah, Dex, I agree with you. Ramnath should feel very disappointed with the shot that he played. That ball was wide outside the line of the off stumper, and he went after it very, very carelessly. Look at this one here. Should have done better with it. Could have been on the back foot, play it late, cut drunk through third man, but he decided to go so hard at it. He lost his shape, and he lost his wicket as well. And I'm disappointed. I mean, this is the 4th match after the Harpy Eagles players have returned to Guyana. And, you know, a lot of people would have expected better from them. So far, a poor showing as far as the batting is concerned. Maybe with the exception of Kemal Savory. He looked real good while he was there, played some good shot in the 4th semi-final. Apart from him, you know, I think I'm not satisfied. That's my opinion. And I think they should have done far better.
Richie Looknott, you know, batted to the crease. He comes in at number 6 with the side 91 for 4. We're in the 14th over. Now he's someone. No run. Looknott. No, he's someone that many felt should have been a part of that Guyana RP Eagles setup in the regional Super 50. He was there last year as a replacement player. Played just the 2 games, didn't have best of returns.
Well, this one spent a lot of time in the air. A direct hit here would have caused him to go back to the pavilion, and he missed it there. That's Jonathan Van Lang. The return came in. Let's see what happened. It was a false shot, though, from Richie Looknott. Got himself in a tangle. The outside edge found. Spent some time in the air, and he bobbles it, Van Lang. And he lives to fight another day.
Create an opportunity. Ali Mohammed. He's bowled well.
That's a good-looking on drive by Richie Looknott. And he opens this account with a 1. So you can feel there's some pressure now being exerted by the Pitbulls. At one time, the Anacondas were going real well. Have you ever gotten or entangled with an anaconda sometime in your life? Have you ever seen a real one out in the swamps or the drains?
You won't believe me if I tell you.
Tell us, we will believe you. Now mix up again. This, well, you have to be careful here. They get the single, nicely cut down and kept down too on the turf by Samson. The over's been completed, 14 gone. It's 93 for 4. Tell me that Anaconda story.
Well, you know, growing up in Sophia, we have what you call the blacker. And from the blacker, just a few feet away, is what we call the alligator trench. I remember one time, my friends and I, we were there waiting for a bus. And we noticed a little sound not too far away from us. Because where we normally wait for bus on the road, there's a trench, like you say, we call the alligator trench. So we heard a little squealing. We went to examine. It was the sound of a dog barking. The alligator and the anaconda, in what I would describe larger than 10 feet. No, he had just ate the dog, and he was just there lying. So that made it a lot easier for us to catch him. And when we did, huge.
Yes. those fellas. It's a huge reptile, the anaconda, and Guyana is famous for that. In fact, the entire South America, that's a good delivery, brilliantly fielded by Christopher Barnwell to his own bowling, but well played by Quinton Samson, who is just settling down at the moment. Well, you'll find those fellas in the savannas, in the creeks, and you're right, in the drains and so on. They're huge, some of them as large as 30 feet in length. Man is no match for them. Down the leg side, that's going to be called a wide. We have seen anacondas swallowing 75, 80-pound sheep, goats. They are massive, muscular bodies, and their jaws can go right back. They're huge.
But this game is nicely poised. We're in over number 15. Samson, who started to get into his work. Barnwell, who's bowled well so far.
It's an appeal, and umpire decide, well, nothing was found there, but it was down the leg side. Must have clipped the pads there. We shall see why the shout was on. Yes, did come off the pad going down the leg side.
So Barnwell lucky to get away with that one, because the short fine is in the circle.
Well, it was there for the asking. Short delivery and played well by Samson. All Samson had to do was to get back onto it, and the pace of the bowler sent it scamping away down towards long leg for 4. Fine shot. Look at this. Very easy shot.
Yes, when we mentioned the delivery before, a similar line. On this occasion, Barnwell not so lucky. Got away with the previous one. But Samson recognizing that the fielder was in the circle of the fine man. So all he needed to do was to get it over the fielder, and he did so very well. Not the brute force we would expect from him on that occasion.
And here's a drive, gone through extra cover. Good looking shot by Samson. And they will come back for 2. Yes, Samson. And they've gone for 3. This is great running between the wicket. This is the Samson that we have come to know. Well, 1 short. With all the effort there.
Initially was a really good piece of running by these 2 batters, Looknott and Samson. But if you're going to go for the run and not complete it, then it's just a waste. I'll tell you what, the captain and the entire management would not be happy if the Anaconda was to lose this game by 1 run.
Yeah. And sometimes you know it, but the momentum gets you going and hoping that the umpire will not see it. And you will capitalize. But these 2 guys out in the middle there, umpire Stefan Josiah, and that's umpire Javid Passad. They've done a good job. I think the umpiring has been real good. There would have been a few close things, but you give the benefit to the umpire. With open eyes, they're out in the middle. But the standard has been good, and that's good to see. And they're coming back for 2. Good run in between the wicket. And even the fast, fleeting foot of Jonathan Fu and his good arms cannot prevent them from taking 2. 15 gone, 103 for the loss of 4. Yes, nicely set up. Current run rate is 6.87. There's 6 wickets standing. There are 5 overs to go, and the spectators continue to stream in. These guys are having a nice time there. Yeah, that's Ricky Dinerain. Love his cutters, And alongside him there is Anil Bihari. He too loved that box with some nice delicacy there. Like so many others, very difficult to recognize everybody. But the festive atmosphere is there, and that's real good. And here as well, the dugout.
The Pitbulls dugout looking fairly relaxed.
Thank you.
So Ronaldo Ali Mohammed, first over cost him 11 runs. He picked up a wicket, and no doubt he'll be striving for another wicket here. Yeah, that's the dugout of the Pitbull. Lian Swami, very prominent, caught brilliantly out towards the backward point boundary, and he knocked it back in play. Well, Did he touch the rope while he knocked it back there? Good looking shot though. Great timing from Richie Loknot. Hello to you, John. 105 for the loss of 4. Match nicely poised.
Yeah, hello once again, Indrajit. And hello to Vishal Nagamutu. He said a barbershop is almost closed, but the television is on. Yeah, game on here at the National Stadium. 138 is the projected score, but should they get close to 140, 150, I think it would be an exciting run chase. Quinton Samson pretty much warming up here. Look not running well between the wickets now. Recovered nicely from an injury picked up during the inter-county tournament. So good running. And in the field, Barnwell is marshalling his troops nicely. Not giving them the opportunity to score freely, the Anacondas. Already mentioned about the beast of the anaconda. Very prevalent in our country. And I was hoping that the question did not come to me, because growing up in Camberville in the city, such beasts are not necessarily part of that. But I've seen them in action in other parts, however.
Here's a drive on the bottom edge of the bat. Can't score, Richie Loknot. Yes, those are the fellas, we call them silent killers. Has Vishal returned to the US of A, John? Yes, so hello to you, Vishal, and all you guys around the barber shop there. It was a joy to talk to Vishal, see him at Blairmont Community Center in one of these matches. Devendra Bishu has been frequenting the cricket grounds as well. Driven. Good looking shot. Will bring him a single here. But it's nice when our past players can grace the cricketing field, lending advice. And I remember Vishal said to me, when the match is finished at Blairmont, I am going to go and speak with Kevin Bodie. I like what I'm seeing. He himself a former wicket keeper. No doubt those advice would have been real good.
Yeah, I mentioned there's no substitute for experience. He's passing on his experience via words. Look at this one. Massive hit. Good pickup from Quinton Samson. And it goes, 6-7 rows back in the massive red stand. Really good pickup shot to end the 16th. 114 now for 4.
Yeah, this is like a jackhammer slamming into a 1-inch nail. Powerfully smashed by Quinton Samson, and he has gone into a different rev. He owns a boat, an engine boat, and he's really beginning to rev at the moment. That's good to see.
Yeah, the ball was moving away from him, with the bowler coming round the wicket, directing it away outside his off stump. But he managed to get good connection. Coming up next in terms of cricket, the Denmark Cricket Board on the 15th Inter-Association. 50 overs at the under 15 level. This is really good to see. This is going to be starting on Sunday. Matches slated for LBI, Queen's Cottage Sports Club Ground, Farm, Metamerzorg. And I love the fact that for this time around, there's a select 11 in addition to the traditional sides: West Coast, Demerara, Georgetown, East Bank, East Coast. So it's really good to see that select 11. It means that 15 additional players will be given the opportunity to push for places in the Demerara side and obviously go on to the national side when that tournament will be played, the regional tournament, next March or April or thereabout during the Easter period. So the journey has begun for the under 15 cricketers, and it's good to see the first step is about to begin.
Yeah, and congratulations to everybody putting their work together. Here's another big swing. It's in the air. That's going to be over the boundary. Jonathan Fu, he got there, but it was over the boundary. Could not have done anything. And they're just beginning to feel the power here of Richie Loknot and Quinton Samson. That was a great shot.
Nicely played. He got good connection. See, backing himself to take on the pace of Pestano. Look at this. From just outside his off stump. And the pull went high, but also went a bit far.
So more runs here now. So the tempo is definitely picking up. And we just saw entering our commentary box the chairman of the competitions committee, Guyana Cricket Board, and director on Cricket West Indies as well, Mr. Sean Messiah. And he has been a live wire.
Yeah, lots of personalities here at National Stadium. Ah, that was a quick one on the body. That could have easily been perhaps on another part of the body, and Samson would not have been standing. He's a strong boy, but these 5.5 ounces tend to give you some blows.
Yeah, where did that one crashed into? Ah, the body? Yeah. Well, the challenge is on here. Fast bowlers always want the batter to think about, first of all, the fear of physical damage. That's going to hurt. Yeah. That's a nasty blow, but he's a strong boy, Samson. Look at him driving. Didn't get it the way he wanted it. It was a short delivery. He has a lot of guts.
And Mama Samson will have her work cut out with some hot water a bit later on. She's always tuned into the action. Sent a message earlier that she's watching at us from Carrier, enjoying the coverage. And tomorrow, a young lady from Truly Island will be playing for one of the teams tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Truly Island, what a name. One bowled him. That's Richie Loknaut getting inside the line of the delivery, looking to flick through backward square, and well bowled by Clinton Pestano. Cleaned him up. The 5th wicket has stumbled.
Yeah, Pestano deserves this wicket. In his opening spell, he was hostile but was unlucky. This time around, Richie Loknaut looking to make some room by advancing outside the line of his off stump, exposing all 3 stumps to Pestano, and he stuck to his guns. Clean bowled. So a good wicket to pick up, especially down towards the back end. This is the 17th over. Loknaut goes. It's now 122 for 5.
Yes, sir. So, John, you mentioned Truly Island. Somebody will come there tomorrow to play for the women team. Truly, I think that's a tree with beautiful branches that they use to touch roofs and so on with it. And absolutely splendid too. Once you give it the not the vertical, the oblique line, it's going to drain the water nicely.
Fortunate to visit Truly Island. It's a farming island actually. Lots of anacondas there, I can tell you. Yeah, nice agricultural setting on the Truly Island. Yeah, it's good to see that see the beautiful game is spreading. After the 2018 Women's World T20, the first standalone Women's World T20, women's cricket was deemed as the fastest growing sport in the world. Many ladies around the world gravitated to the sport. ICC made a decision as well that they'll pay equal fees for men and women. And many boards went on with the same strategy, because at the end of the day, it's a national, if you go onto a national body, it's a national undertaking really, as you've given out just blood, sweat and glory, or your tears really, to represent and to really push to represent your country. So why not give you the equal pay as well? So that's another pull factor for women's cricket. So now to see someone coming from Truly Island to play this cricket is going to be remarkable.
I do agree with you, and I'm happy, some of the things we've been hearing about women's cricket in the Caribbean, in Guyana. 17 overs gone, 122 for the loss of 5. More and more women now are being contracted players, contracted to their home boards, Cricket West Indies.
So this is one of the teams, the Pakarima Force, led by international sensation Shameen Campbell. Young Tilian Madramutu is there as well. So some experience. Naya Latchman, I'd love to see her have a go. It's a pity it's just one game in the Jeet. It's a
exhibition game.
It's an exhibition game, and we're going to see our ladies just for 20 overs aside. But it's a pity it's not more than just a one-off game. Had it been a 3-match series or something like that, would have been exciting to look at. The Kaisho Warriors, Shabika Gajnabi is the captain. Good to see Sienna Retty Myers there as well. Tia Isaacs. This is a nice mix of players. Naomi Barkoi, Casey Schultz, been off the ball for a little bit. Good to see that she's included.
And that match will be streamed live as well from the National Stadium tomorrow. 10 o'clock is the starting time. So our ladies, they'll be having a chance to showcase their skills to the world. And, we were talking about the development of women cricket in Guyana here. We normally have our inter-county under-19 tournament and senior tournament. That's short, and that's going to go the distance. That's gone. That's a maximum. Well played.
For a moment, the spectator felt he had a chance in front of the green stand. But that one went high and far enough. Again, we see Ali Mohammed slanting that delivery just from outside the line of the leg stump across the right-handed batter. And again, Samson getting into position quickly to swat it really over that straightish, long-on position. Good connection. He's a strong lad indeed.
Yeah, and that traveled the distance. Great shot. And what a lovely sight to see that white ball coming down beyond the darkness we are seeing at the top and landing into one of the stands. West Indies women, I think, will be playing test match cricket somewhere in 2029. So there is some time to put things in place. But I love what I'm seeing, the development of women's cricket. That's going to be called a wide. And maybe someday not long from now we'll be having inter-club female cricket. That's going to be important if we are going to develop strong national team and a strong West Indies women's test team.
Lots of bottom hand in this stroke. Rav Ramesh does well on the boundary at mid-wicket. So Samson and Ali Mohammed locked in a battle.
Run up.
Umpire Javed Prasad telling Samson to run off the danger area or else.
Yes, or else. Now, that projected score has gone on to 150. Edging, and that is what you do. You go at it hard, outside the line of the off stump, tick outside edge, and Joshua Prasad, the keeper, had no time with that one. That just whistled past him down to the boundary for 4. So Samson is going at it. He's going at it very hard. Just wondering to know if there's any bad blood between these two.
We'll never know. But it's a brave shot because you see that short third with the backward point. There's a fielder extra cover as well. So he's looking to keep him quiet outside the off stump. This one is hitting the air high. Fielder coming around. Ramesh cannot get there. So Samson taking him on, looking to play some tennis strokes now. That's a good forearm stroke. Federer will be very happy with that effort from Quinton Samson.
Yeah, and he's going for broke here. And the figures now of Ronaldo Ali Mohammed, 1 for 37. So 2 more deliveries to finish this over. And with the way Samson is batting, he's going to go after him again. That's my guess. Cover on the boundary, long off, long on. And that's short. Wide outside the off stump and signal a wide too. Asking Samson to stress for it. But it was an illegal delivery. So 1 more run to the score. And another ball has to be bowled. This is crunch time.
This is by far the best efforts in this tournament from Quinton Samson. 4 previous games, 18 runs only.
Well played, Anthony Adams. That was a good delivery by Ronaldo Ali Mohammed, right on target. 18 overs gone at the end of 18. 139, in fact 140 for the loss of 5. We must remind all our viewers and listeners too that the Global Super League, a standalone tournament, all matches will be played here in Guyana, supported by the Guyana government, with the title sponsors, ExxonMobil, the old giant, come in on course. 5 teams, the Guyana Amazon Warriors, Rangpur Riders from Bangladesh, Hampshire Hawks, they're from England, and Lahore, Qalandars, Pakistan 2 times franchise champion, and Victoria from Australia. That's a strong setup.
Itinerary, 26th of November, the first game. The final will be on the 7th of December. Amazon Warriors opening against the Lahore Qalandars. There are a few day games as well, with the Lahore Qalandars and Hampshire Hawks. The Rangoon Riders against Victoria. Remember, we have Asian audience. Looking forward to the action. Start of a new over from Pestano. This is the 19th of the innings. 141 now on the board. Projected score 155. So with 1 over to go after this one. Samson warming up, you will say, because not everything is hitting the boundary just yet. Strike rate of 200 exactly for him. If he can get a few more boundaries, that projected score will definitely go upward. But if the Pitbulls can see the back of him, maybe they'll be chasing 150.
So the challenge is on here. Pestano on the full, down the leg side. It's going to be penalized and signal a wide as well. So that should be a very competitive tournament, John, the Global Super League, the first in South America. And, you know, we encourage everybody get your tickets. Tickets are on sale.
Yeah, the world is heading to Guyana to play.
Yes, could not have been said better than that. It's going to be exciting, thrilling. You call all the adjectives.
Pestano from the southern end, the Players Pavilion here at the National Stadium. Dear Samson getting into his work. Gaurav Ramesh. He's picked merely to bowl, Ramesh, but he's been busy in the outfield. 2 more to Pestano, 2 more to Samson. Getting close to his half century, another milestone for him.
John, he actually took that ball away from his chest. Was a short delivery, but because he was making way down the leg side, he was able to punch it through the offside and picked up 2. He's very, very quick between the wickets here, Samson. Given good support by his skipper, Anthony Adams. And look at that. The current run rate has rocketed to 7.85. The partnership so far, 22 from 9, and is serving the Anacondas well. This is going to be a very challenging total. Short rising delivery and looking for the 4 or maybe a 6 that will bring him to his half century here, not making any contact.
You said short rising, but you forgot to mention with pace. Pestano, 32 years old. Seems as if he has recovered from the injuries he had suffered over the years. Running in purposefully. Look at him, much fitter now. It's amazing what fresh pair of knees can do for you. In his final over. Short ball. Looking to take him on again. But it's going to fall pretty safe. Raymond Perez, national cyclist as well, just could not get there quickly enough on his legs. But I love the hostility of Pestano. He's maintaining that body line type of bowling, short and on the body of these batters, especially Samson. We saw him doing it to Tia Chanapal earlier as well. The call is 2. Adams is quick. Will Samson come back? No. It's just a single. So good over in the context of the game. So Pestano again delivering the goods for his team. Barnwell will be very pleased with Pestano's work.
Yes, and and this is good friendship that we are seeing in the middle here. Anthony Adams just taking his bat and shying it for Pestano to pick it up because he needs another one.
Yeah, because it's broken actually. So he said, Pest, you owe me a bat. This is yours now.
Yes, and these guys know each other. They have mingled among each other. They have played cricket together against each other like tonight.
And some of them have roomed together, especially when on tour. Lots of bottom hand, but straight to the fielder at long on. Anton Lim, it looks like. It is Anton Lim. And that's the end of Quinton Samson. In the end, Clinton Pestano gets his man. The big fish of Samson is caught down at long on. Look at that. Once again, looking to muscle the ball. But Anton Lim, the substitute fielder, in the perfect position. And he takes it comfortably in the end. 19 gone. It's 146 now for 6. Samson goes for 46.
Yes, and let's give a lot of credit there to Clinton Pestano. He knows that if he's going to get Samson, that the short ball might very well do the magic. This one did not get up as he expected it. So he hadn't the room to play it between the mid-wicket and the long on. Picked out the fielder down at long on. Good simple catch. Give credit to Clinton Pestano. 2 for 34 from 4. But a fine innings by Samson. He played well.
One for 16 from 2 overs. Barnwell will bowl the 20th. 146 on the board for the Anacondas. Captain Anthony Adams is still there. Sigar Hitaramani has joined him. It's not only the speeding, it's the illegal use of the road, making 3 lanes where there's just 1. Hitaramani faces his first delivery. He's off the mark.
Keep going, keep going.
Yes, I mean, it's been too much, and it's all over. For at one stage, I was thinking it was pretty much in one area, you know. But I've been around. I've seen it happening all over the country. It's just too much. But I think it's only a matter of time because I'm noticing some movements that I think it's only a matter of time because I'm noticing some movements that will correct things in a short while. Oh, Joshua Prasad, what have you done? Another chance in this tournament going down. This time with the gloves, Joshua Prasad not able to hold on. Anthony Adams given a life.
Oh, that should have been taken again into the gloves and out again. And I know that he's going to be very frustrated here, Barnwell. Joshua Prasad. He's a wicket keeper? Yes.
So he's taken off the right glove. So actually, that might be a reason why the ball did not stick. But it was a regulation catch in the end.
It was. I wonder why is it that he has taken off the right gloves?
Well, keepers tend to do that, especially in the dying stage of an innings or a close game when they want to give themselves the opportunity to have more control if they're going to have a return to the stump or to the bowler's end to effect a run out. Short and quick, 2 batters in the same crease, and it's going to be a simple and easy dismissal. So the Pitbulls don't mind at all. Hitaramani sacrificing himself there because his captain was calling him down to the strikers end. Look at it. It was with the gloves, that without the gloves actually, with just the mittens on, he sent that return to Barnwell. He missed the direct hit, but Barnwell is in the perfect position backing up.
Yes, and while you were speaking, he was doing the demonstration out in the middle there, John. Absolutely, so I like that one. And he's a goner. We can't blame him too much. Yes, go ahead.
Seeing is believing.
Yes, absolutely so.
So when the traffic ranks cannot see, the cameras are around the city and around the country. Yeah. Seeing is believing. Video evidence.
Yes, and I love what I'm happening. We have technology. It is definitely going to be used. Okay. Drivers on the roadways in Guyana, please, or everywhere else, just remember this sentence I'm telling you tonight. And here is a question for you to answer. Why hurry to the cemetery when there is so much time to spend there? You just think about that.
And for those that operate the public transportation, look at the number of lives that they have, not only within their own vessel, but the vessels around them as well. Barnwell to finish, 20th. The call is to Peter Perez, slight fumble.
Roll out, easy, good.
It's going to be an easy dismissal again, Niall Smith. So just a single to end the innings, 150 for a loss of 8 now. 150 coming up, psychological advantage in the Jeet.
Of course, 150, I think this is going to be a real challenging total here for the Pitbulls. We can expect them to reply and reply very, very strongly. And you go back to this innings that, you know, some of the batters that give it momentum. Look at it there. Kevin Bodie with his brilliant 33 from 31, 47 from Quinton Samson, who actually accelerated them to that 150 mark.
Just on the 10 runs in the last 2 overs, I think the Pitbulls will be very pleased with the way they finished the innings. 150, so it means the target is 151. Dwayne Dick started very well. 16 dot balls from his 4 overs. But the pick of the bowlers in terms of wickets, Pestano, 2 wickets with lots of pace. And goes to Chula, who got a prize wicket of Kimo Paul, 2 for 15, 1 each for Barnwell and Ronaldo Ali Mohammed. The debutant Gaurav Ramesh went wicketless, as well as Dwayne Dick, who was economical. 8 extras, so it means the target now 151 for the Pitbulls. We'll take a break and come back with the run chase in a short while.
Oh. Yeah, I want to stay.
Oh, is day one? Or?
Yeah, she wants to stay in there.
Oh, okay.
man. You go for you. You go for you should have slip. Go live right.
Well, Mark.
Alright, Mark. Alright, Mark.
Bob. Oh, you ever hear my coffee facing shoulder slip?
Ma, send it down.
You know the same the boss will go with? The driver. He drink right? Enterprise that sent by Center Street. You can buy the shop man. The late and buy drinking. I go out of them buy.
Blue line, but
And you want
they got
fight
darker
that.
blue than this, you know. Navy blue line.
Yeah.
You look good, you know. When you stop.
Some of them up by
No, you look good, you look good. Like daytime and stuff.
Jump now.
Yeah.
Jump.
You used to use the yellow, right? Bright
No, but the yellow and the light now thing, you know.
Some of them,
Remember the yellow is a bright color. And it's a white light, you understand?
well, some of them say it walk good.
Oh.
Some of them say they're nasty.
You go sleep here.
Laugh, the whole was laugh. They laugh.
I gotta cook the
Stick
shell.
style.
Like paintbrush hard for fine.
No, this have you use for starting. Some have money.
Hey,
Four.
poor madam.
You got
Yeah.
pulling a mark there. So what?
Right, we get you on good work. Never mind the money you got shirt.
Mark.
That's right.
Talking on loop. Or speak.
That's right.
Painting talking on bucket.
The
You know that's happy, right?
original grass.
The man
So
sponsor
them
this.
have famous sign now, so
Yeah, ma'am. Them.
Sure, William. Yeah, beat.
this not kill it.
What? We are being for
With the chemical. So this is not kill the grass like how you paint. That them come tell you the first game. The first game people come tell you about it. Yeah, but me the second game, me the first game, man I'm tell you that. Let them do the work. They can do the work too, you think. You can't tell them.
You're right.
Oh, you can't. Yes, sir?
Yeah.
Break them the one, sir.
Can't talk that case, I don't make the end there.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Red light. Just have to make a little cut hole and put inside.
Yeah, buddy. Dig down there. Think by the middle stump. Hardly the ball will. The ball in the middle.
And the ball knock that thing out.
You might just drill a hole in the stump, you know. And use the thing in England and stuff. You see that happen in Australia? Hole and ball. The ball knock a stump and that bike camera damage.
Okay.
You want to slip or you want to slip?
Who facing?
Happy? Over there. Everybody's ready. It's a short word, man. Because remember, he knows to get it going.
So welcome back to the National Stadium at Providence. It's decision time. Who will be the next finalist in the Guyana Cricket
Hold his
Board
left arm round
inaugural
the wicket,
edition
batsman.
of their
Left arm
T20 league? John Ramsing here. Welcome you back to the coverage. Tournament brought to you by BetCageSports under the patronage of His Excellency the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana,
Shake a little.
Dr. Mohammed
Easy.
Irfan Ali.
Leg stump.
It's a penultimate day. One more day of action. That's
That's it,
tomorrow,
off stump.
which will be the day of third place playoff and the final. Escobar Jaguars won the first semi-final, so they're in the final waiting on their opponents. Who will it be? Will it be the Demerara Pitbulls, who will be looking to get 151 to win? Or will it be the Escobar Anacondas, who are defending 150 that they got on the tins earlier tonight? Garfield Phillips, left arm spin, will begin from the southern end, the place pavilion end. Familiar opening pair, Joshua Prasad and Raymond Perez.
Batsman.
Perez will take first strike, the right-handed batter. Former West Indies under 19 players opening for the Pitbulls. Short and quick from the left arm spinner. And immediately Perez is off the mark. So we joined tonight in the comments position, Sean
Middle.
Messiah. Sean Messiah has been around cricket since Noah started to build his ark.
Left arm round.
Sean has joined us tonight. He's wearing many caps throughout his career. And he's with us, no doubt, to give us an update on what's
Quick ball.
happening in and around his circles. So Sean, welcome to the microphone of FL Sport.
Good evening and good night to all listening. Thank you, John. It's good to be here once again.
So Sean, a nice battle on hand. This is the pinnacle of T20 cricket in Guyana. And we're seeing two top teams, two teams that deserve to be here in the semi-finals, battling out for a place in the final that will come up tomorrow night right here at the National Stadium.
Yes, John, it's a good score there, I can tell you, for us up there. So it's going to be a takings for the Pitbulls.
Both batters off the mark. 151 is the target. 70 meters around here at the National Stadium. So very big outfield. So lots of gaps. Once you're classy enough to find the boundaries, you'll be able to score or even work the gaps for singles and twos, as the stats of Raymond Perez. Inside out he goes, looking to take on the power play immediately, gets the maximum. One-handed, and that was well played. He got good connection.
Yes, that's a good shot there by Perez. Making room and just putting that ball over wide, long off. Good shot there by Perez.
So Sean, I know many things happening around the cricket circle, especially at a GCA level, at a Demerara Cricket Board level, of course the Guyana Cricket Board level. But with this tournament wrapping up pretty quickly, soon we'll have the return basically of the inter-association 50 overs for the under 15 cricketers. And I guess our discussion tonight will center around that. It's termed Next Generation.
Yes,
I saw a
John.
press release coming from you a bit earlier.
Yes, John. Demerara Cricket Board under 15, 50 overs. Next generation.
There he goes again. Another one-handed stroke from Perez. And it goes into the stand and back onto the playing field. 2 sixes in the over. And Phillips not happy with this start at all. But the Pitbulls racing on.
Yes, John, you know, it's customary around this time, you know, you start preparation for your under 15. So that's where you get into association, you know, among the different associations, the West Demerara Cricket Association, the East Bank Cricket Association, the East Coast Cricket Board, and the Georgetown Cricket Association, and along with the Upper Demerara Cricket Association. But in this for this tournament, that's a nice shot.
He goes again inside out. He's looking to take on Phillips and doing so quite effectively, hitting him inside out on 3 occasions. This time going a little bit square towards extra cover. There is definitely a plan from Perez.
Yes, John, and for the first time in this tournament, we have the Select 11. And that came about because, we don't have as much players coming from the Upper Demerara. But we still have about a few players coming from the Upper Demerara that is included in that Select 11 for the first time.
What I know as well, at youth level, sometimes a player will have just one opportunity. So it means now that there's a wider pool of players to choose from. Now with each team playing each other once, lots of chances for these players to impress the Demerara selectors as they try to make their county side.
Yes, 5 teams, which will see about 75 players involved, vying for a lot of incentives and prizes and awards, as well as selection, as you say, for a strong Demerara team for the Guyana Cricket Board Inter-County under 15. That should come up sometime early next year.
First over completed, very expensive one. 22 from it. It was a perfect start for the Pitbulls. Not one that the Essequibo Anacondas will be pleased with. They'll have to go to a plan B quickly if they're going to come back into this contest, because 151, another huge target by any stretch of the imagination. So when are we going to begin with those games? We saw it earlier on a graphic on the monitor. 17th of November, that's Sunday coming?
Yes, Sunday coming. We'll get it started with the first round. You got the GCA, the Georgetown side, will come up against the Select 11 at QC. And then you'll have the East Bank coming up against the East Coast Cricket Board at LBI. We got Shahid Ramzan, who will be captaining the Select 11. We got Juni Dindial, captain in the East Coast Cricket Board. You got Brandon Henry, you captain in the Georgetown Cricketers.
He had to fend that one off, taking precautionary measures basically of the lively Niall Smith. 75 players are on a 15 level pretty soon. We'll have some action. What about the venues? I heard you mentioned Queen's College Ground.
Yes.
I think that's a perfect venue for under 15 cricket.
Yeah, and then we have matches at Farm Ground on the East Bank, and match at the Metamirza Ground over at the west side. So it's going to be exciting, I could tell you. These youngsters, a lot of promising and got a lot of talent. They had a lot of players there to look out for.
So it's going to be straight 50 overs. It's not a situation where batters will have the opportunity, if they're dismissed, 5 runs minus and so on. No,
straight 50 overs. And we played with white clothes, red ball.
Yeah, it's good to see that cricket is going to move around as well, because you want players exposed to different conditions. And of course, one thing as well, you don't want to say the word rigors, but the rigors of traveling and moving from venue to venue as a team. Getting that camaraderie going, looking out for each other off the field as well. So it's good to see that a movement will be done. It's quite impressive at the Demerara Cricket Board level, this plan.
Yeah, it was well done. The President Bisun Dial Singh, has given his blessings. He expects to see the tournament, move off. Looking out for the much talented players. Each one of them will have the opportunity.
Oh, lots of pace on this one. Niall Smith following Perez. A good track here at the National Stadium. Pace. Still to come, Kimo Paul, I'm sure, will be fancying his opportunity here Lots of swing, lots of movements. Even someone like Quentin Samson, who we saw perhaps being a one-man army with pace in this team before tonight. Perez current form, 26-17. Short on the body again. And this seems to be an orchestrated plan by the Anacondas. Look at how uncomfortable Perez is.
Yes, Smith working up some pace there. So Perez, trying to evade, but just falling short there on the man at short mid-wicket.
There's a big boxing match tonight, and Perez like a boxer. Trying to evade that one. 2 overs gone, 33 on the board, no wicket down. So what else is happening in your circle? Mr. Cricket Competition Chair, Mr. This, Mr. That.
Well, there's a lot of cricket in the Georgetown area as well. They have finals between DCC and MYO that'll be played the day and night on Sunday as well. But for the Demerara Cricket Board on the 15, the president, Bisun Dial Singh, he expressed his belief in the tournament's ability to nurture young talent, stating that it will demonstrate players' skill and enhance their development. He also made clear his enthusiasm, for the inclusion of the Select 11 for the first time, which will be led by no other than Shahid Ramzan. That Shahid Ramzan is a promising young player.
A young man from Enmore. This one is pulled away as Kimo Paul comes into the attack and immediately starts with a short delivery to Joshua Prasad. But this time, Prasad quickly into position to pull forward of square and gets a boundary. So it's fire, pace like fire from both ends. Immediately, Kimo Paul bringing out a short delivery. This one is much closer to the body of Prasad, so not able to muscle it the way he did earlier. Look at that strong approach to the crease from Kimo. They say when Kimo is given the ball, it's time for some chemotherapy.
Well, he knows how to do that.
So let's see if there's going to be some chemotherapy here now. Anacondas badly need a wicket. Wouldn't come here. Too full this time. And Josh Prasad playing across the line, but getting good connection. And the ball sailing into the big gap on the onside for 4.
Yes, John, they're making good use of this power play. 2.3 overs, 41 runs already. And it's just getting just about the halfway stage of the power play. So this is well set between Joshua Prasad and Raymond Perez.
I think they came out with a plan. They took on Phillips pretty early. 20 from just 8. Prasad. Kimo 4-0-4. 0.
And somehow, John, like the pitch has been quickened up in this part of the day. With the first game, see some nice pace here between Paul and Smith. But the bat of Perez and Joshua Prasad is talking.
31, 24, 45, 22. And no score. As the recent form of Joshua Prasad. He's getting starts. Sometimes not able to carry on. Look at the movement from Kimo after pitching and slightly in the air as well. So no foot movement because of the pace on. Prasad just getting a single.
So where will the wicket comes from now? This is the 3rd over. Who will the captain turn to?
Have a few options. Chipped. Rampatop, Ram North, and Quentin Samson coming wrong. In the end, it is Ramnath who holds on. But he kept his eyes on the ball and not on his partner. And that could have easily been a more dangerous collision because they managed to collide. But in the end, the victory of holding that catch and getting the wicket is going to make it a little bit, make the pain a little bit less. But that could have been a bit more serious than it actually is. But wicket nonetheless. Kimo strikes in his opening over. It is Perez who goes for 19, 42 for 1 in the third.
That is a stupendous catch there by Ramnath. Look at it. Coming around and then he collided with Samson. What a thing. It was a great catch.
He kept his eyes on the ball right through. I'm sure he did not even see Samson in his eye line because he was so glued to that ball. Had to put in a dive, one-handed. What a catch.
Wonderful.
Samson colliding with the left side of Rampatop. Ramnath. Sargent, the new batter. Just made his Super 50 debut. Still favoring that tie. That tie colliding with the big man,
Yeah,
Quentin
Samson
Samson.
is no easy man to collide with.
You tend to feel a bit numb for a long time.
Yeah.
You get up, you get that sensation, that shocking sensation.
But they managed to get a wicket in the third over, but they're well set. 42 for 1, for 3. Still 3 overs of the power play still to go. And I would say the veteran Ricky Sargent marched to the crease. So John, let me say thank you for giving me the opportunity to update the public on the Demerara Cricket Board on the 15 and cricket around in Georgetown. As we look forward for an excited tournament, I think each squad look pretty much solid, and some excited cricket we'll have coming up from Sunday. Thank you again.
Most welcome. We look forward to some cricket indeed. That's where it starts. The next generation of great players at the under 15 level. I remember some of our legends started at that very age in first class cricket. So these players will have an opportunity now not only to begin their careers, but also show that they're ready for higher calling. So Kimo, 1 over 9 runs. 2 fours, a single, and a wicket in that over. Wicket of Raymond Perez. So Sargent has joined Joshua Prasad. I remember seeing Ricky Sargent stroking, not even stroking, blasting 100 in a T20 ball game. So he's a man who loves to play his strokes. So if he gets going here tonight as well, this run chase could be over in a jiffy. Still 109 needed from the remaining 17 overs. All to play for in this game, then tomorrow, the big final. The Jaguars are waiting for some opponents. Who will it be? Dexter has rejoined me. Dexter, what a start we're having from the Pitbulls. Slightly pulling on the chain now, the Anacondas.
Absolutely, it's been an entertaining first 3 overs.
Smith to continue. Sprays it again.
Smith bowling very quickly here. Joshua Prasad and Perez decided that they were going to fight fire with fire. We've seen some lovely stroke plays, and in between we've seen some very quick balls bowled by both Smith and Paul. So this is a really good contest.
Smith with his funky dread. Top edge. Spending some time in the air. Comes down in the safe hands of Cigar hitter Romani. That ball spent a week and a day in the air off the top edge. It tells of the pace of which Niall Smith was going. But look at that. Just a flick of the wrist. Joshua Prasad realized he was in trouble. He's gone for 21. So consecutive strike into consecutive overs now. It's now 43 for 2 in the fourth.
Yeah, leading edge, top edge to be exact. Passad. Try to play one of his signature shots. Just try to help it behind screen the onside. Got the leading edge, and his night with the bat is come to end. Well played, 21. But both him and Perez, both the batsmen dismissed. They've given their team the perfect start. And with 108 needed from just 101 balls, there is time for the other batters to build a partnership and get into their innings.
3 4s and a 12. So both openers dismissed. And now fresh batters. Both Barnwell, who's a new batsman now, Christopher Barnwell, and Sargent are yet to face any deliveries. So let's open up the middle order of the Pitbulls. They're going to be tested here because Smith from the top end, the northern end, and Kimo Paul running into the little breeze we have here tonight. Bowling very hostile. There's still the man who's been doing it, the only seamer in the team, Quentin Samson, still to come.
Yes,
With
John.
ball.
He too can bowl what we say in cricket in terms of heavy ball.
Low full toss. He's off the mark immediately. The captain Barnwell. All he needed was to get bat on that. Timing was super. Okay, one ball. He's not able to stop it. Coming back for a second. Wide signal by the umpire. Christmas Day, 40 days away, if my maths is correct. It's Christmas Day, 40 days away. 50 coming up on the board now for the Pitbulls in the fourth. So 101 needed from 100 deliveries if they're going to win and march on to the final tomorrow night. They've lost 2 wickets early. Good running, good running. They took off immediately. Sargent and Barnwell. Barnwell just looked up, realized his partner's coming, and then trusted him.
Very well bowled by Smith. And I love what I'm seeing. The batters, there's clear intent to go hard, and the bowlers, they seem to be up for the challenge. And this is what you want from some of your senior players. If you're an Anaconda fan, in that of Smith and Paul, taking the ball in this power play, stemming the flow of runs that was initially dished out by the Pitbull batter. And if they can pick up maybe another wicket or two in this power play, then it's game on, John.
Abdul Ram Sami is at mid-wicket, right back on the boundary. The other deep fielder is at third man, right back on the boundary as well. Over number 4, still in the power play. So it means with that field, and now I feel that short fine leg and Samson moving around. There's nothing to expect except short on the body from Niall Smith to the new batsman Ricky Sargent.
And this is really good captaincy. There's 2 catcher in a slip and a gully in.
So no ball instead. Yeah, those 2 catches are there. They're looking to work with the mind. Will a short one come? Will it be full just outside the off stump? With a slip and a fielder that gully position waiting. Instead, Smith jumps the front line. And now it's going to be a free hit for Sargent. Perfect opportunity for him to get off the mark. Run a ball needed if they're going to get to the target now. 99 from 99. Free hit coming up. Inside edge. Another half stop from the wicketkeeper. Keeper just skips across quite casually and he cuts it off. I'd love to see Smith bowl into Sargent. Sargent, one of those unorthodox type of players. Once the ball is there, he will hit. Will not look classical, but will be effective.
I don't think Sargent would have faced bowlers with this high speed pace. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes about his work. You mentioned he loves to score boundaries.
Genuinely beaten pace
And movement. That one off got beautifully away from the left-handed Sargent. And it's clear that the Anaconda skipper, Adams, realizes that if they're to win this game, the best chance of doing so is to bowl out the Pitbulls. 97 from 97. With wicket in hand, you would expect the Pitbulls to cruise home. But they do have a very formidable bowling lineup, the Anacondas. Some seriously good spinners to come. So if they can pick up a couple of wickets here in the power play to add to the two they have already, then we're in for a really good contest.
Testing over. Successful one as well from Smith. 54 for the loss of 2 after 4. In the distance, you can see the green stand. Scattering of spectators. But at a big stand like that with a capacity of 4,400, it's difficult to tell what's the attendance like. But it's good to see, for cricketing's sake, some spectators coming out, realizing the quality of players on show here at the National Stadium, the position of this tournament semi-finals, the attraction Friday night on the lights. So it has all the ingredients for a good finish tonight. What about tomorrow? The way tomorrow will go, today will tell how tomorrow will go. The Jaguars waiting in the final. That 10 o'clock game, that ladies game will really set the pace. I'm excited to see the ladies in action in the morning. Oh, that one's just too straight. Deep mid wicket and third man. Those are the deep feelers for Kimo bowling to Barnwell. There is that wide slip in Tejnawai Chandapur, but there's also that fine leg in the circle. A ring of feelers on the offside. Point, cover, mid off, and a short extra cover.
So Kimo trying to bowl very straight to Barnwell. We're still in the power play, so the two fielders out. Deep third on the outside, and there's a man just in front of square in the onside.
Good shape. You see the ball moving away after pitching. Nice even bounce as well. That's one of the advantages of coming to the National Stadium to play at least these big games. You can trust the bounce of the pitch and the outfield.
The last 2 overs, so the Anacondas, the bowler, they've done well. They've stemmed the flow of runs just a little.
Quick single, big appeal goes up. Players colliding, finger goes up as well. And Christopher Barnwell, who was on the floor rolling up with one of the players of the opposition, is up on his feet, looking at umpire Stefan Josiah. But the players of the Anacondas in a huddle. It is the captain himself who actually effected the run out, Anthony Adams. What a display of high quality cricket here. Barnwell, captain of the Pitbulls, not pleased, but has to go in the end. Look at that. Played with his soft hands down towards that short extra cover fielder. The captain picked up, underarmed it. Stumped to aim at, and look at him colliding with Barnwell. And he got up quickly, realizing that he has done well and got the decision in his favor, Anthony Adams. Barnwell goes 55 for 3.
Another twist in this match here as we have a look at them at that replay once again.
This angle will
So
definitely
nicely
tell.
played.
From the straight end, from the straight angle, realized that he was gone to this angle. Despite being pixelated, look at this one. See, that was short of the crease.
Very piece of good cricket by the kind of skipper. Direct hit. He had just the one stump to aim at, and he did so bullseye. Unlucky Barnwell, but he has to go. And this is what I was speaking about, John.
Shake a letter.
You know, we did mention if they can pick up a couple more wickets here, then it's game on, because clearly the only way they're going to win this game, they have to bowl out the Pitbulls, and they do bat the Pitbulls. And an interesting move, young Jonathan Van Lang comes into bat at number 5. You know, you have the likes of Fu, Pestano, but he's been given an opportunity here. A young man with loads of potential, one for the future, but there's so much being talked about him. I can remember one of the earlier matches, he got an opportunity to bat at 5, and he came 30 yard not out, and he batted well in that game. So maybe the Pitbulls, they're looking to just stretch their batting a bit. You know, you still have Ali Mohammed and Pestano who can hit the ball, so they do have some batting depth. But if you keep losing wicket like this, then it's going to be a pretty close encounter.
Oh, you can feel it for Sargent, hitting up hard into his right foot. This ball continues to bowl with some pace here tonight. Yeah, Barnwell, pretty unfortunate to be run out. Good piece of field, an excellent feeling, in fact, from Anthony Adams, who prided himself as the perfect all-rounder who bowls, fields, and bats. Skipper himself, number 8. No appeal from the bowler, just the wicket keep and slip. Stefan Josiah, the umpire, is unmoved. Wide finally being signalled. What a belated signal from Stefan Josiah. I guess he had to wait on the square leg umpire to confirm that it was well over the head of the batsman. Then confirm the decision.
Sergeant late in that one. Last few balls he faced, he's looked quite uncomfortable.
Bold. That one came back, the perfect delivery from Kimo Paul to someone who's been playing and missing, playing down the wrong line. Went through a narrow gap. And Sargent knows nothing about that one. Has to make the long walk back to the pavilion. Gone for 2. And now the Pitbulls in further trouble. Still in the power play. 56 for 4.
So Sargent goes for 2. They're 4 wickets down inside the power play, the Pitbulls. History tells you if you tend to lose that amount of wicket in the 4-6 over, more often times than not you'll end up on the losing side. That remains to be seen here this evening. But ever since the end of over number 2, Anacondas, they've been all over the Pitbulls. As we see there again, Chemo Paul. Lovely delivery. Leg cutter to the left-handed Sergeant, beating all ends up. He just threw his bat at that one, Sergeant. Not that he had a clue about it.
They've picked up wickets. Successive overs now. So a few Jonathans at the crease. Van Lang and Fu.
Leg stump. Leg stump.
They both haven't faced the ball as yet, but they have a lot of work to do.
Right arm over 1 remaining.
You might want to look at that equation and say, yes, it's just 95 runs from 91 balls. But 95 runs when you 4 wicket down can seem a very long way away. Kimo Paul picking up his 2nd wicket, and he's been fantastic with ball in hand here tonight.
You know, few can hit a Fu. Single to end, another successful over for Kimo Paul. After 5 overs in a run chase, it's now 57, 56 in fact, 57 for 4.
Here we see the scorecard. Perez 19, Passat 21. Got the Pitbulls off the flyer. But ever since both of those battles been dismissed, it's been all Anacondas. Sergeant went for 2, Skipper run out for 5. Van Lang and Fu relatively new at the crease with a lot of work to do, the Pitbulls. And they do have batting depth, but you really don't want to leave it to your number 8, number 9 to get this total. So a partnership definitely was required here. We're still within the power play, mind you. 57 for 4 after 5. It's been all action packed here at the Guyana National Stadium. And these players fighting for a place in the final to face the Essequibo Jaguars. It's been all action packed here.
Hello to you, Dexter. Hello to our viewers and listeners once again. Yes, you're right, action-packed. And if you love cricket, you will certainly enjoy this period of play. Great battle going on between bat and ball. And this is primarily due to the bowling we have seen so far by Kimo Paul and Smith. Smith from the top end, that's the northern end, and Kimo from the southern end, the bottom end. They've been bowling exceptionally well with great pace on a pitch that is a little bit on the slow side. You give these guys a pitch that's going to play even, they're going to be a handful. And with the regional 4-day championship coming up next year around the ending of January, you know, I think these two fellas, along with a fit Joseph, it's going to be a real handful across the region. I just love this bowling. Look at that. Beaten for pace, Jonathan Van Lang. Cut in half. That ball actually cannon into the body. No ball? Well, this has been a little problem that has plagued Smith. Something that he has to work on, striving for the extra pace. But you cannot be infringing on that bowling crease, you know, very often. You need to cut that out. But he's bowling real good.
I have to agree with you, Brother Jeet. It's been fantastic fast bowling. And if you're looking, viewing from wherever you are, from whatever device you're doing so, we're sure that you've been entertained thus far. We certainly have been in the commentary booth. And we love the cricket which we're seeing. You mentioned it's a really good battle between bat and ball. And this is what cricket is all about, especially T20 cricket. It's about entertainment. It's about players putting on a show for the different sides. And we've seen that all here in this match so far.
You're right, Dexter. Good time to remind our viewers and listeners that this is semi-final number 2 in the Guyana Cricket Board National T20 League, powered by BetCageSports under the patronage of His Excellency the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, featuring the rallying call of One Guyana. And it has been splendid so far. Tomorrow we are having 3 matches, a ladies exhibition game starting at 10. And then we're going to have the third place playoff that happens at 2 p.m. and the final on the lights. Whichever team wins here will go forward to reach the Jaguars in that grand finale. So we're watching Niall Smith working up a lot of pace here. And this is real good cricket we are watching. Great test for Jonathan Van Lang, the youngster. Well, he goes high in the air, took one hand off the bat, settles under it, and a good catch taken there. But remember, that was a no ball, so that's a free hit. So didn't get the connection he was looking for. But here again, just throwing caution to the wind. Can't blame him. You want to go for a 6 with the free hit.
Absolutely. But I don't think that was a pace down ball. That was a change up. That seemed to be a slower ball from Smith. So really good thinking from him. You know, he had a really good regional Super 50. And he's been in and around the West Indies setup. And when he's fit, he certainly can be a handful. You know, we didn't saw him bowl as much in the Super 50. We're not sure what's the reason why. But he looks fit. He looks ready. And he's bowling rockets here this evening.
Yes, and look at his rhythm. Lovely approach. It's rhythmic. Look at that. Niall Smith, beautiful run-up to the wicket. That's a short, lifting delivery right on the target there. He's targeting the body of Jonathan Van Lang. And the young man was equal to that delivery, kept his eyes on it and defending. In fact, it's Jonathan Fu, I beg your pardon. And they did take the single off the free hit. And Fu, first delivery. 2 Borbishans at war here at the moment. One plays for Albion, that's Jonathan Fu. The other for Tuckburg Park.
But the Pitbulls, they don't have to panic. They just need a little partnership going here. You know, there's not a massive amount of runs that's required. Fu, with his experience, should be able to weather the storm. At least he should be thinking that way.
Yeah, well played, Jonathan Fu. Another sharp, rising delivery. He used all his experience, his determination, and his skills. Rode that well, got on top of it, and gets a single too. So 2 more deliveries remain in the power play. Niall Smith 1 for 27. This is his 3rd over. He has gone for some runs, but he has bowled at a hectic pace. This is good to see. If these guys can stay fit, himself and Paul, Shamar Joseph in that mix as well. They think highly of Tyndall, young Isaiah Turn. We can have a very good bunch of fast bowlers, guided nicely down to our short third man by Van Lang.
And it's another no ball by Smith. You know, when you're defending 150 and your opposition is after flyer, and you're asked to come from behind to win a game, you don't want to be giving them easy scoring opportunity by bowling no ball. So it's going to be Van Lang again on strike to face the free hit. Opportunity for him to get his innings going with a boundary. So you want to make full use of this free hit.
Yes, I do agree with you. You can't be infringing and bowling so many no balls. It's going to work against you. Well, he opened himself up and got the thick inside edge, played the French cut, but his protection down there at the fine leg region can't score. But this is something that you need to work on while you're practicing, while you're in the nets, You're not going to get it right on match day, Niall Smith. And this is something that has plagued him, something that he needs to work on. He has the pace.
Brother Jit, to be fair, I don't think I'm the right person to be criticizing Smith. I myself struggled with no ball in the past.
Down the leg side. Might have clipped something there off the body of the player. Niall Smith, third overs come to an end. 1 for 28, 6 gone, 62 for 4. And Dexter, what are some of the things you are doing to correct that? While you're thinking, these fellas, they're on their phone. Hello to you guys if you're listening and viewing us on stream. Yeah, Ricky Danarine. That showed some tiredness there. Rubbing the bald head with the arm has been here for a long time. Ricky, Mr. Cricket, Anil Bihari, and the rest there. Thanks for keeping us company, brothers.
Just to answer your question, brother Indigit, for me, it's all about my rhythm. I have added an extra 2-step to my run-up. That certainly has helped. But when I'm flowing nicely, when I'm in good rhythm, I don't have that problem. It tends to be probably when I'm overstriding, trying to bowl a little bit quicker, then you get into that sort of trouble in terms of bowling no ball. It may look like an easy thing to say, man, you just don't bowl no ball, but I can tell you something you need to work on, and you need to be mindful of it.
Yeah, that's something, and you know how serious you are with it. Your run-up, you mentioned your momentum. If you lose momentum, you might very well bowl the no balls, and that can only come through diligent effort. So the pressure continues. Kemo Paul, 2 for 12, begin his third, the 7th of the innings. Well, that had some pace on it as well, outside the line of the off stump.
Beautiful bowling. That one leg cut and left the right-handed foe as well. So this has been good to see. They've been bowling well, they've been bowling quick, but it's good to see the seam movement they've been able to attract off the wicket. There's still a slipper in place, and rightfully so. So they're clearly looking for wickets. They've picked up 4 already inside the power play, and they love to add this man to that tally.
Yes, good teasing delivery, Kemo Paul. I like the length that he's bowling here, Kemo. Jonathan Fu, he has just come to the middle, and I think what is playing on Fu's mind here, he's not going to look to be too aggressive unless the ball really presents itself for him to have a go at it. He's just trying to play himself in. He knows there will become a time when both Kemo and Niall Smith will have to take a rest. Whether the skipper decides to bowl them out is another. Brilliant shot off the back foot, cut through backward point and away to the boundary for 4. This is the Jonathan Fu of old. What a fine shot.
And we have someone bowling as quick as Paul and Smith. All you need to do is get bottom ball and find a gap. And that's exactly what Fu did on that occasion. And you sum it up nicely, Brother Jit. Smith has already bowled 3 over. Paul is into his third. You want to think that they'll save 1 each in the bank, so to speak. I personally call it the insurance over.
Full live coverage. 67 for the loss of 4 at this point. And Jonathan Fu, very early in his innings, he has faced 8 deliveries, he has gotten 8 runs. But the way he played those last 2 balls, there's no fear whatsoever of these 2 fast bowlers. Played them well, and once he's out in the middle, he will present some bother. It's going to be interesting to see what Barnwell does. Maybe he'll bring himself into the attack from the top end. Well bowled, Kemo Paul, right on the money here. And Van Lang kept his eyes on it. He's not going to be flustered. He too plays with a straight bat. Good cricket we are watching here.
So they've gotten 4 wickets. Who do you turn to next if you're the Anaconda skipper? We've seen they've bowled heavy dose of spin in the competition so far. And for the first time in this tournament, they have the luxury of Smith and Paul in the lineup.
Wide ball.
Another wide. So extras have been aplenty so far in this innings. Wow. What happened there?
There was a little collision there. Yes.
Both of them ball watching.
What did I say just now, Barnwell? Did I say that? Really? Yes, it looks as though Quinton Samson is going to replace Niall Smith, who still can come back with an over. And I think this is good captaincy. You just want to keep your ace fast bowler, just in case you will go and ask him and say, listen, we just want you to get this wicket for me. 3 overs on a trot. Looks good in the process. 70 for the loss of 4. 81 required from 78 balls.
And I think this is the right move by the Anacondas. Samson, he has bowled well in this tournament. Slightly older balls, so it'll be interesting to see the sort of bounce and movement he gets when he actually bowls. But for the Pitbulls at the moment, they just need a partnership. Fu and Van Lang, you know, the required rate is nothing outrageous. And if they bat well and they bat smart, do not lose wicket in clusters, then they should be able to get over the line. But it's shaping up to be a fascinating contest.
Yes, and we all love what we are seeing out in the middle. It's no one-sided affair. We saw a brilliant start by the Pitbulls. Some fine shot by Raymond Perez, Joshua Passard, the little man. Some good-looking pull shots. But once the two of them departed, the run rate just beginning to go down. And that's the reason why they're 70 for 4. But still a healthy run rate. They're scoring at 10. That wicket column, though, is a vital concern. In these middle overs, you do not want to lose too many wickets. So far, so good. The required run rate is 6.23. And you will want to give the batting team the edge in this encounter.
I still think the game is in the balance. The Anacondas, they do have a few options that are genuine wicket takers. And if those bowlers can come to the party and pick up wickets, then the Anacondas, they're right in this game.
Yes, they're not out of the game whatsoever. I think they're well into this game, and they know that. Yeah, some movement for Samson here, but I was pitched wide outside the line of the off stump. And when you look at the field, there is long off. There is also cover on the boundary. There's a backward pointer and a short cover, and also a fine third man. So he'll be looking to get the ball closer to the line of the off stump. This is going to be called a wide. Didn't listen to me. Bowled it too wide. But one can understand the plot here. Because you look out on the onside, there is nobody out on the mid-wicket boundary. There is one at long on, and there is one down at the deep backward square.
Oh, you know, it's really interesting because you're looking at it, yes, the Pitbulls, they require for the 80 runs from 77 balls. However, you allowed 5 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. Could you probably think about bringing one inside the circle and try to create some pressure in the inner ring?
Yeah, why not? And maybe if one should, just look at this little issue. Sometimes I feel that our skipper, they're not aggressive enough. You must cut out those short single. Jonathan Fu and Van Lang, they're skilled enough to know if they play with soft hand, there could be a single just in front of the batter. You look at the onside, you play it down towards short straight mid wicket. There can be a single there. Maybe down towards where the umpire is at square leg, or drop just in front of you and run. These are little skill set that they must have. Wow, that's beautifully bowled. Some extra pace here by Samson. Hit the deck very, very hard and got the response from the pitcher. It was a fine delivery.
Absolutely, and this is what we're speaking about. Get an extra man in the inner ring, maybe have him in a catching position, slip, or maybe an extra cover, probably bring in the mid wicket, just a bit closer, try to create some sort of pressure.
There's an appeal for a catch at the wicket, and nothing coming from the umpire. But Samson and the close-in fielders, they're confident. Now he's been given the marching orders. Yes, I think there was a little eye look between the umpire standing at square leg and the ruling umpire and Jonathan Van Lang. That has to go. Why is it there should have been that little eye contact? Took a little while. Was he waiting on the batter to walk? There seemed to be an on the edge. There was deviation there. And Kevin Bodie took a good catch. Give the umpire maybe some credit. You don't expect the fingers to go right up at the same time of the appeal. We shall see here. What do you make of this, Dexter? Did he got the fingers under the ball? I think he did so. Was a clean catch, and that's the reason why umpire Javed Prasad decided to ask Stefan Josiah. He responded in the positive. Excellent umpiring decision, and the communication between the two umpires as well was extremely good. We're watching it here. I think he scooped it up nicely there. Good catch.
Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Anacondas. Samson striking in his very first over. That's a massive wicket of young Van Long, who've not had the best of time in this tournament. But someone with his reputation, his pedigree, to have him back in the hut can only augurs well for the Anacondas. But there's a lot of work to do here. The Pitbulls.
Yes, and that work is one that's continuous as the new batter.
Ali Mohammed seems to be the new batter. A lot of work to do here for the Pitbulls. The Anacondas, ever since that first over, they've been all over the Pitbulls. Remember, Brother Cheat, I told you about the story just a short while ago with the Anaconda, what they did to the Pitbull.
Yes, and this is a wide signal so by umpire Javed. So all these little extras will definitely work. The Pitbulls, they are fighting 73 for 5. 6.32, that's gettable. 5 wickets in hand. All you're asking for, play sensible cricket, but they're coming up against a team with some very, very good bowlers. Ali Mohammed strike rate, 115.89. And here again, that's a short, rising delivery. And as this pitcher, I know it's late in the evening, begin to lose that moisture that was under it. The ball is coming through so nice, and you're having men who are willing to bend their back and bowl. Samson is a strong guy. Strong in the arm, strong in the shoulder, and in the muscles, the biceps as well.
Quentin Samson's form in this tournament so far. Another wide Samson. This is not helping the Anacondas. But the Pitbulls will say thank you very much. Give us some more of that.
Yes, and that Samson table might pop up on the screen against Caimans. He picked up no wicket whatsoever. Quinton Samson. 8 wickets in the tournament before this. And he's edging this one, but falling short of the slip fielder. That's Kimo Paul. Just 2 for 21, Kimo Paul. 1 for 28, Niall Smith. And 1 for 3 from the lone over, Quinton Samson.
Middle.
77 from 72. You guess that any team can win from here on. But 5 wickets still standing there. You'll want to give the batting team the advantage. But Niall Smith can come back for an over. Kimo Paul can come back for an over. 3 overs, Samson can come back. We yet to see Anthony Adams. So the bowling lineup, very, very strong and penetrative as well. We just spoke about Garfield Phillips. He's come back into the attack and he's going to come with some passion here. None for 22 is first over.
And it's an interesting move. He bowled with the slight
Change. Brought back Garfield Phillips. Went for 22 off his lone over. And look at this one. Luring Jonathan Fu outside the line of the off stump there. He was just pushing at it. And the faintest of edges. And Bodie took a fine catch.
Anthony Adams must be credited with this bowling change. Every move he makes seems to be gold. An inspired bowling change, bringing Garfield Phillips back into the attack. And he gets rid of the dangerous Jonathan Fu. Many would have probably felt why Adams did not bowl himself, and we just saw why.
Yes, and in some of the matches too, we saw Anthony Adams waited until the 10 overs is finished before he brings himself on. He trusts himself in the latter part, especially in the last 4 overs where he can bowl 2 of them. 15 wides, and that's a whole heck of a lot.
And there are a couple of no balls to go along with that, Brother Cheat. 3 no balls to be exact.
We talking 3 overs, 3 sixes, 18, 15 and 3, 18. That's a lot. Garfield Phillips, 3 wickets so far in the tournament. And, he's been trusted soldier for his team. And I love the way Anthony Adams, he has used the weapons at his disposal this evening.
So the Pitbulls there, 6 down inside 10 overs. Still a long way to go. 75 from 70.
Yes,
These
sir,
2 at the
middle.
crease.
Up.
2 young budding all-rounders
4 to come. Left
in
arm
their own rights, in their own regard. But Garfield Phillips, he's done well throughout this tournament. Not the best of starting this match. Obviously, semi-final number 2, looking for a place in the final. But his captain has entrusted him and said, Garfield, go get me a wicket. He's done just that. But his work is not done yet for the evening.
And he beats the short cover. And this is going to hustle away towards the cover boundary for 4. That's a lovely check shot coming from the right-hander out through the cover region. Well played.
Yeah, not the best of delivery by Phillips. Must give Ali Mohammed credit though. He found the gap, recognizing that there's no fielder outside on the offside boundary. So all he needed to do was just pierce the infield. And he did that nicely. That's it. Much better line from Phillips. And this is what his skipper is asking him to do. The guys that are out on the boundary, squirrel head mid-wicket long on, along with the long off. So his line needs to be straight here.
Of course, I do agree with you. That's a good delivery. And this one kept low as well. Ali Mohammed had to come down on it. So he's not giving him any room whatsoever to get on the back foot and punch through the offside field. Bowl wicket to wicket. Let Ali Mohammed make the play. This should be the plan here. Nicely tossed up, well bowl, right on target. At the end of a successful over by Garfield Phillips. 1 for 28 off 2 for him. 80 for 6, 9 gone.
if you're watching this game on your different, so most runs in the tournament, Sukwa, who batted well again in semi-final number 1. He's at the top of the run chart with 235. Ramsamy, 166. There's Bodhi on the list who batted well this evening for his 33. It's good to see some of the names that we're not so familiar with on that runs chart, Brother Tit. Sukwa, the Ramsamy.
Rajiv Ivan get into that as well, 160 I think. Shamar Yerud, 148. Kevin Bodhi today scored some runs. There's a lone gentleman. Hello to you, guy. We see on your phone.
That's Joshua Jones.
Joshua Jones.
Had an impressive game earlier in semi-final number 1. Picking up 3 wickets.
Yes, and did bowl his heart out. I like the effort from Joshua Jones. You know, we always say you might not be a superstar, Dexter, but when you get an opportunity, make that opportunity count for you. Impress. Let your captain want you to play again for him. You know, these are things that must certainly occupy the mind of every player that walk the cricket field. Make use of that opportunity. It might not come again.
Someone who want to make the most of that opportunity and impress with the bat is Pestano this evening.
Look, the shy comes to the wicket and missed it. Terrible mix-up between Pestano and Ronaldo Ali Mohammed. Now, they must be talking to each other. They must be shouting at each other there. Can't have this kind of running. You have lost 6 wickets.
Had he hit, Pestano would have been a goner. But this is really good bowling by Samson. He supported Smith and Paul, who bowled very well early on. There's an appeal, but seems to be able to bat on that one. Had he missed that one, Pestano would have certainly been a goner.
Yes, and I think our stump mic would have picked up the edge of the bat there. You hear that clicker. Could have been bat onto pad and squatted away down towards fine leg. Good decision by umpire Javid Paswad. It's brilliantly turned away. Segar hit a Manny down on the boundary area. That's Segar. Yes, and tackled it nicely, but good looking shot. Good time to remind everyone that this is the Guyana Cricket Board National T20 League powered by BetCageSports under the patronage of His Excellency the President of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. This is driven in the air, safely taken there, and Clinton Pestano has to go. Picked out the lone man on the wide long off boundary, and that's another telling blow by Quinton Samson. He's picked up now 2 wickets. It's 82 now for the loss of 6.
Samson with the bat, Samson with the ball. He's certainly owning the night, Samson.
And Samson with the hairstyle.
It's disappointing. Pestano heads back to the pavilion for just the 3 runs. But that shot was so uncalled for. At a time when you needed a partnership. You have a very able partner in Ali Mohammed. Just need to knock the ball around for a few overs. Deny the opposition of taking 4 wickets and take the game as deep as possible.
Playing the shot there saying, hey, Niall Smith, I'm giving you a little catch and practice there. And Niall hardly had to move whatsoever, straight down his throat, and he took it nicely. Maybe he could have hit it back over the head of the bowler. 82 for 7. And it's getting disastrous now.
So the players there taking refreshment. And we'll take a break as well in the commentary booth.
and we'll be right back.
Pitbulls! Keep going, boys. Middle leg dumps.
$82 for 7. And Quinton Samson will continue. There is one delivery to finish off over number 10. And so often in this year's Guyana Cricket Board National T20 League, we've seen a wicket fall in over number 10. So often, might just be 2 times when that did not happen. Well, he was flirting with danger there. Big drive outside the line of the off stump. 10 overs gone. It's 82 for the loss of 7. With me once again, Jono Ramsing. Jono, 82 for the loss of 7. 69 required from 60 balls. 3 wickets standing. Still gettable as the Rasta makes his hairstyle.
That's a her.
So how do we refer to a female?
Yeah. So 69 to get from the last 10 overs. Semi-final number 2. All right. So spectators remain with the action tonight. It's a good view from the outside of the commentary box in the Jeep. Nice fresh air. And the spectators in the stands, in the green stand, quite ironically, lots of Anacondas across there.
Yes, we've been hearing them. We've been listening them. We've been following them.
The Pitbulls are quiet. There might be a few among the Anacondas, but they're very quiet. Garfield Phillips to continue. Very expensive tonight, but has a knack of picking up wickets. Ronaldo Ali Muhammad and Dwayne Dick. You've seen many instances where Dick did not stand up. So this is another opportunity for him to really see it home for his side. We don't want to go down too soon tonight.
Yes, I agree with you, Jono. It's late in the evening, and he wants to ensure that he stays up there for a while. He needs to stay up there for a long time because this is only the 11th over.
Too close to cut. I was speaking with one of the officials of the beautiful game in Guyana. I was making a comparison with one of the players from the Guyana Police Force, Ivor Trotman, who bowls quite similar to Garfield Phillips.
One.
Left arm spinner as well. And the type of bowlers, as a batter, you think that you can take them on. Suddenly, they're right up on your case, cramping you, trapping your leg before finding the outside edge. So they can be very deceptive. So Garfield Phillips went for a lot of runs in the opening over, 22 or thereabout. Came back in the second over and got a wicket. A nagging type of left arm spinner.
Yes, they call them old and cranky. Nag away at you until they pick up a wicket. He has not picked up a heap of wicket in this year's tournament, but he has played well. Opened the bowling, bowled in the middle overs, bowled in the closing stages as well. And here is Dick, found the edge there of the bat and out towards the fine third man region, and that's gone away for 4. Well, they say when you go at it, John, you go as hard as possible. That's they say fortune favor the brave.
You cannot set a field for that, because that one went pretty fine, just out of the gloves of the wicketkeeper. Look at that. No field at this stage, especially for an off spinner, will be in that position. Chanapal is wide at that short third man position. Cannot set a field for that, so Phillips will have to accept. Look at that, favoring the brave indeed. Wild swing, outside edge found, healthy edge. 62 to get from 55, game on.
Yeah, and I think that Dwayne Dicker is a decent all-rounder. We have seen him play some very, very good innings, and maybe if he just settle in here, can bring another equation to this story out in the middle.
Good feeling to his own bowling. Allah Roger Harper. 11 gone, 89 for 7. 62 still to get from 54. Heard yourself and Dexter mentioning the games to come tomorrow. But I'm very interested in that female clash, like many of these guys in the stands here. Some of the players from the Jaguars, Kemal Savory, umpire Nagasar is among them as well. Lots of cricket discussions happening there. Ricardo Adams in the front.
John, that's sheer Essequibo talk, we can see.
Well, I will not be able to qualify to even go close to that group.
Essequibo, such a beautiful place, John. 62 to get from 54 here. The Pitbulls, they've been taken to the dentist here by the Anacondas, and they've gotten a few teeth extracted. Maybe that's the reason why the jaw is painful. They're not imagining to bite.
Toothless at this stage, in the air, down the throat of the fielder. Chandapal takes it. Samson strikes again. At the start of over number 12, it's Ronaldo Ali Mohammed holding out. He goes for just 6 runs. And then our Pitbulls losing another tooth. 89 for the loss of 8.
Yes, and no cocaine has been used here to numb the gum there. And the Anacondas, they're extracting, you know, the teeth here this evening. And that's very, very painful. They have just stumbled in the closing stages of this game. 89 for the loss of 8. They had a very fine start. But, you know, as soon as they lose the 2 openers, things didn't go their way. And I think that period of bowling, as we watch this on the replay here, well, looking for glory, gone down towards long on. That period when Niall Smith and Kemo Paul bowled in tandem, I think that is what actually rocked them to the bottom.
Especially after the dream start they had. Had to be contented with the extra pace and movement, the lateral movement of Niall Smith and Kemo Paul especially. And just did not recover.
The Pitbulls, they actually won the Guyana Cricket Board T10 Blast. They are the champions in that. Came here with high hopes, the Pitbulls, of qualifying for the finals. At this point, while it's not impossible, there are going to be heartaches and pains for them. The signs aren't good. But this man is real good.
Oh, the debutant Gaurav Ramesh. What a beauty of a delivery to get first up, playing down the wrong line. Highly touted Ramesh, but more as a bowler. Coming in at number 10 now for the Pitbulls. Has an opportunity at least to survive. Dick is still standing at the non-striker's end. Holding firm at this stage. But he needs someone to be with him. Perfect Yorker. And look at the pep in the step now. Well, quite some time from Samson. 3 for 5. Riding on the wave of a good score today with the bat. And his family circle have been speaking about Samson getting back into the regional side. Because they said he's now at the bottom, he's going to have to work his way up.
And working his way in here this evening has looked good. He's bowled with good pace, touchdown in the right areas. He scored runs. It was a pity he didn't get that half century, but he did change the game with the blistering batter out in the middle. And now with the ball, he's in his third over. He has picked up 3 for 5. Another wicket here will improve those figures. Right now it's real outstanding. Tomorrow that female game starts at 10. Pakaraima Force against Kaichor Warriors. One led by Shamaine Campbell, that's the Force. And the Warriors, Shabika Gajnabi.
Wicket maiden for Samson. At the end of 12 overs, the Pitbulls 89 for 8. 62 runs away from a final berth. They have 48 deliveries to get them.
And tomorrow as well, third place playoff right here. Piranhas will be playing somebody for that third place. This match will tell us that. And then the winner from here will go on to reach the Jaguars in the final. That game starts at 7 p.m. All 3 games will be streamed live. Compliments of the Guyana Cricket Board and FL Sports, who is doing that honor. And John, as we come tomorrow will be the final day. You know, congratulations are in order for BetCageSports. You know, this business entity has come on board and spent of their money to create this tournament. It's a big swing and a miss. And
See him in the attack much earlier, sometimes in the power play. Seen him at least once in the power play of this tournament. Quite economical. Has a knack for breaking partnerships as well. Powerfully driven by the right-handed Dick. Rampatab Ramnad, who collided, taking a sensational catch earlier. Is that long off? So it's a lot of work here now for the Pitbulls. So that required run rate is above 8 runs and over now in the Jeet.
Like so.
And from here on, it looks as though it's going to be Essequibo at war with itself through the Anacondas and the Jaguars. Might very well be an all Essequibo final here at the National Stadium. At least it's shaping up that way. That's a wide down the leg side. It's good for Essequibo cricket while it's franchise. They're the home of those 2 franchise teams.
And if the Guyana Cricket Board should say franchise for sale, price for the Essequibo franchise will be higher, of course. Quick single. Phillips cannot stop that single. I think that is a direction as well the Guyana Cricket Board can look to go into as this tournament grows in stature. Have these franchise teams available for businesses even to brand themselves or associate themselves.
Rich men like John Ramsing will be willing to buy one of those top teams.
Yeah, it's pretty much an investment, you would say.
Yes.
You'd love to see
Yes,
one of the under 13 players maybe graduating. Simple catch now. And it seems as if the writing is on the wall. It's getting brighter as we speak. We're hoping that Dick could have been the one to see it through. But he goes. Soft dismissal for him.
Yes, you're right about that. Down the throat of the wide long off. Simple catch. And he has to go. So another tooth has been extracted here this evening.
The Pitbulls getting smaller. Maybe the puppies, you can call them now. Last pair at the crease now. Kulturan Chulai, the new batter. Youngster from Wakenham Island. Adam striking as well in his first over. 59 to get from 43, the last pair. It won't be fair to say that this pair cannot get 59 runs, but in the context of the game, it's highly improbable.
Yes, I think it's going to be miraculous actually if they get there, because they're struggling at the moment. And looking at the bowlers to come, and this one that is bowling here, and knowing the capabilities of these two youngsters out in the middle is going to be very difficult for them. Well played. July, first delivery, and he looks good as he plays the defensive shot. 13 gone, 92 for the loss of 9.
Look at skipper Anthony Adams limping away. Do you remember he collided with Christopher Barnwell after effecting a direct hit to Ronald Barnwell? Maybe since then has a little bit of a niggle, but I'm sure after tomorrow these players will be happy to put their feet up. Tomorrow night's final. I'm saying that because you get the impression that the Anacondas will be in that final. Pick up the bowlers with still 1 over to go. Samson 3 for 5 with 17 dot deliveries in the Jeet. It means of 18 deliveries sent down, just 1 was scored off of him.
Yes, and that will tell you how well he has bowled here this evening. And maybe as we look to that grand final tomorrow at Jaguars and Anacondas, how do you see that clash going, John?
Slight fumble for a man who did not bowl tonight, which he looked not. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fascinating final tomorrow. Both sides deserve to be in the final. I'd rather suspect it will not be a 109, wouldn't be a 150. I'm looking, because both teams would have had some experience at a national stadium, I'm looking for at least a 170 total, which would make the final not only high scoring but exciting.
Yes, it might very well happen because as this pitch dries out more and more, there's sunshine tomorrow, exposed to some sunshine. It's going to be a real good batting track. So teams have scored 186, I think that was the highest, 188. So it's well within their grasp. Did that cannon into the stumps? No, it did not. Was a good delivery, however, right on target.
Yeah, not a rough cutter from Quinton Samson. There's Chulai. No foot movement, just offering bat. And that is one thing Dexter and I were speaking of earlier. Chulai is more known for his left arm spin bowling, but has an opportunity now. Let's say, for example, he had 20 runs to win. Will you just roll over and die? Need to give yourself a chance with bat.
Yes, and that's the nature of the modern game. I mean, you just can't only be playing as a bowler, especially in the shorter format of the game. You know, you no longer call them tail enders. They're low order batters. And men take pride, women take pride, and work on their game. So when they come in at number 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, they want to ensure that some runs are alongside their names. That's a brilliant delivery. Too good to get a wicket and too good for the right-handed Chulai.
Yeah, once again, no foot movement across. Not trying to get to the pitch of the delivery at all. Just offering bat. It would be interesting if there was someone like Kimo Paul or even Niall Smith bowling, how Chulai would have been faring. And I use the word faring quite sparingly here because I get the impression he's afraid of the pace of Samson.
Well, he looks competent with this one. These are good signs. He's defending down into the offside field. Remember the great Courtney Walsh, the best leave alone, didn't fancy batting a lot. That guy went on, took more than 500 test wickets, 519 I think.
Remember, we had a magnificent partnership with Carl Hooper at the ARG in one of the games against Pakistan. Quick single, no, says Ramesh. So just a single in this over. Over number 14 coming to an end. So even at number 11, like you said, Courtney Walsh at one time the record holder for the most ducks in Test cricket. Managed to hold the bat the right way and stuck around for some partnerships. 58 to get from 36.
Yeah, so we want to encourage wherever you are on our voice, you're viewing this from the National Stadium at Providence. Let us remind you tomorrow 3 matches right here as we pull the curtains down on the Guyana Cricket Board National T20 League. We have the women's exhibition match that starts at 10 hours. Kaichor Warriors against Pakaraima Force. And then third place playoff, and we go right into the final on the lights at 7 p.m., which should be an all Essequibo final. So they've come out to play Essequibo, their 2 franchise team, Jaguars and Anacondas, and they're playing it real well.
You got to feel it for teams like the Piranhas and tonight the Pitbulls, who give good account of themselves at a preliminary stage. Piranhas took that game into the last over earlier today. This one has helped along its way. Now Smith collects. And now we're seeing the Pitbulls, because of some hostility of the Anacondas seam bowlers, in this position, the worst they've been in the tournament. And for the first time, we're seeing Quinton Samson getting help in the seam bowling department in Niall Smith and Kimo Paul. And those are the 2 players that made a big difference, that are making it, because it's still part of the game, that are making a big difference in tonight's encounter. Chana Paul runs after it. And it goes into the boundary. So just that little bit of adjustment in terms of team selection. It was a good call as well from the Guyana Cricket Board to have these players fresh from national duties at the Super 50 tournament to come here and continue playing. The only sad part about that is that players who were in the tournament throughout had to make way for these established players. But that's how it happens in the world.
Yes, it happens everywhere where professional sports is being played. And I would like to see these 2 bat out the few overs that remaining to see how the Anacondas will respond to that. 15 gone. It's 99 for the loss of 9.
All 9s on the board. Samson finishing his spell of 4 overs, 3 for 6. Kimo, 2 for 21 from 3, still an over available. Garfield Phillips, one over still available to him. Anacondas 150 for 8 when they batted. After Perez and Prasad show, nothing really to show. It's going to be off spin of Richie Loknath for the first time in over number 16.
Adi, come over.
Perhaps it's a good time to bring back one of the frontline seamers, but Anthony Adams thinking otherwise, and now the off spinners into the attack. Likewise, Dexter George, who's back,
good, good.
George, like
Very good there. Hurry,
the captain,
Come, Rich. Come, Rich.
not opting for seam this time, George. Here's look not.
Easy one, easy one.
Would you have gone for seam, or
One
were you
second,
seeing?
I'm about to tell you,
Would you have
bye-bye.
brought in look not into the attack now?
Walk,
I'm
guys,
looking
walk,
to wrap
guys.
this game up ASAP, so I've definitely gone back to one of my frontline seamers.
Catch it, buddy. Get back. Boy, Richie. Let's go, boys. Dip and go.
Paul and Smith.
Walk, Rich, walk, Rich.
And we saw him to go 50. It's a slight niggle, and they'll obviously be needed
1-1.
for tomorrow's night final. So
Let's
just want to
go,
ensure
boys.
they
Let's
remain
walk,
nice and fresh
fellas.
with that, I guess. But look, not he's more than capable. He started well.
100 now on the board for the Pitbulls. So you're saying Kimo Paul and Niall Smith will play tomorrow night's final. The last pair of the crease, Windward Islands against Guyana Volcanoes. Windward Islands Volcanoes against Guyana Harp Eagles. Remember that? Recently.
I remember because I watched that game.
Rich, come on, man.
But there's no frontline battle in Ramesh and Chulai. I think that's the difference. None of them are set either.
Ball in, Rich. Ball in, Rich.
Yeah, with every dot ball, or once it's not a boundary ball, the required run rate will climb. It's getting close to 2 runs per ball. Stumped. And that is the end of the semi-final 2. That's the final marching orders for Ramesh Gurav. Well, Gurav Ramesh, who was brilliantly stumped by Kevon Bodie of the bowling of Loknath, who strikes as well in his opening over to pick up the 10th wicket. 101 all-out victory for the Essequibo Anacondas by 49 runs. So it means it will be an all Essequibo affair tomorrow in the final. The Anacondas against the Jaguars.
Brother John, what do we know? That's why Anthony Adams is the skipper out there. And again, another bowling change that proved fruitful. Richie Loknath picking up the wicket of Ramesh. A semi-final that promised so much. We had a brilliant start with batting hand by the Pitbulls. But ever since the second over of the innings, it's been all Anacondas. I think Smith and Paul really bowled extremely well and turned the tide for the Anacondas. In the end, winning by 49 runs. And in the context of things, that's a huge victory.
Big victory indeed. It means that the Pitbulls will have to play for third place tomorrow when they take on the Piranhas. That is a 2 p.m. game. But this is how it ended tonight, unfolded tonight. Raymond Perez and Joshua Prasad got things going off in quick fashion, but since then, no other batter was able to get into double figures except for extras, we'll say, with 20. 101 all out. And in the bowling department, extremely good stuff from Niall Smith, Kimo Paul, Quinton Samson, the seamers. Among them, 6 wickets. Every bowler used tonight in the wickets column as well. Match summary, Essequibo Anacondas 150 for 8 from their 20. Samson, the top scorer with 47. And in reply, the Pitbulls 101 all out, losing by 49 runs. And the chief wrecker, Quinton Samson, no doubt the player of the match.
Certainly, he was brilliant with batting hand. And 3 for 6, you don't see that every day. Extraordinary figures by Samson. But I think Paul, Phillips, and Smith, they all bowl well at times in different spells.
So triple header tomorrow from 10 a.m. The ladies will take the field. Let's say ladies before gents. Third place playoff at 2 p.m. And then at 7 p.m. the grand final of this inaugural edition of the Guyana Cricket Board National T20 League, powered by BetCageSports under the patronage of His Excellency President Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali. But that is the end of semi-final number 2. Essequibo Anacondas beating the Demerara Pitbulls comprehensively by 49 runs on the lights here at the National Stadium at Providence. On behalf of Indrajit Prasad, Dexter George, my name is John Ramsing, wishing you well. Telling you, If you can't be good, then be careful. Until next time, it's goodbye.